Good to go.
Oh,
Good to go.
that was the most unprofessional intro I think we've ever had. But okay, thank you. Is it on? Are we on stream? Is the audio coming through? We all good? Can anyone confirm? I don't even know.
I heard
Yes, you
myself,
are.
so yeah.
Okay, good. Okay. Hello everyone and welcome back again to Kiho's Academy League, the final weekend of games coming up. Today we will be seeing Devant taking on Phil's Goodman, and we have Coach Devant himself along with Ginsworth joining us. Guys, how you doing today?
I'm doing good.
Vibes ready.
Ginsworth, you're making your debut today, actually. Do you want to tell us a little bit about yourself, how you got involved here? How did you get roped into this project?
Oh, you're asking for quite the recollection of mine. I think I just queued into Kyo in a pub like 2 years ago, and then I queued into him again a year ago. I was like, this may be the single greatest individual in a pub game I've ever played with. I was like, dude, you're great. Let me add you as a friend or whatever. They invited me to this Discord, and I just saw what everyone was doing. I was like, all right, let's do this. Looks like fun.
Okay, cool. So just by chance you find yourself here?
Pretty much.
Awesome. And Devansh, yourself, we've got your boys back at it again. I guess I'll talk a little bit about the teams first off, but they're both coming into this final week. They haven't neither team's picked up a win. So we're gonna see who is able to get that single win and which one's going home with a wooden spoon. Devansh, how have you guys been getting on the past couple of weeks? I think we'll all agree we've seen them improve, but what have you guys been working on? What in particular coming into the game today? And what's in store for us?
Well, they're really hyped for the game, and most of them are just saying like, we know what we are doing. We keep improving. We'll just keep at it, and we'll win this game. That's what they were discussing before the game.
And is there anything that's stood out for you in particular that's really impressed you from you guys? Any particular games, plays in those games, or anything in particular you've really?
Okay, so one thing that we did yesterday was like we just did a 10-man lobby, which was Team Devansh against like some players which were way higher ranked than them, like around Archon Legend average, and they almost managed to beat us. So that was really impressive from them.
Yeah, no, that is really good because just for anyone who's not aware, these guys, 4 to 5 of their team have only been playing Dota for the past month or two. That's right, isn't it? It's been a couple of months.
Yeah. Like most of them started around 4 or 5 months ago.
So yeah, great improvements, and of course, we see a great picture there from the ever updating Devansh logo. Do you have any thoughts on that? Or do you want to talk us through what's going on there?
I don't even know when they managed to find it, how they managed to find it. I have no recollection of this photo.
Oh, wait, can you read it? What does that say?
On the banner, it says when someone echoes your mid. It's like an SEA thing. If you know about like it's like Filipino language. Like people, it's like really common there for people to be toxic and just say like "Ako mid." I'm just going mid. No one else can go there.
Oh, good memories. I miss SCA server.
Okay, so we are into the drafting stage already. We've got an axe pick up by Phil's Goodman. Oracle coming the way of Devansh. One of the favoured heroes of Phil's Goodman would be the Witch Doctor, sort of the team mascot in a way. Do you think we'll get to see that throughout today in this last series for them?
10 seconds remaining.
Me personally, I think it's unlikely. Witch Doctor, one of his greatest strengths is his Maledict, and picking into... Okay, so you see the Dazzle now, but I was gonna say picking it into Oracle, who has that 100% magic damage reduction on his W, whatever it's called. I think it's Fate's Edict. Like, yeah, it would hurt pretty much to play Witch Doctor into that.
Yeah, it's not the greatest of picks here.
Radiant team back.
Earth Shaker.
Okay, so an Earthshaker Oracle Axe Dazzle. Guys, give us your thoughts.
Team back.
Well, Dire is just picking their comfort pick, so I like it.
I think in terms of strength, I want to say Dire side's looking a little bit stronger. Earthshaker's quite good against these like strong lane dominating
10
fives
seconds
because you can
remaining.
always reset the lane. And like heroes like Jakiro and Dazzle really can't do much when they don't have the length of the safe lane to run people down essentially. So I'm really liking Dire's draft and setup right
Team
now.
ban.
Looks like they're banning out some of those carries. Jug and AM taken out of the pool.
Dire team
Is there anything,
ban.
guys, you'd like to see in terms of a carry from a team? There's another carry ban from the USA.
I think I'll be interested to see if DP
10
gets
seconds
banned out by
remaining.
Feels Good Man. Pretty tanky hero. Axe doesn't
5
really
seconds
pose
remaining.
kill threat on it. It's extremely strong with Oracle behind it. And it's very good at out sustaining Dazzle sustain lineups as well. So
DP is also one of Angad Bagla's most played heroes in the tournament, I think.
ooh, spicy. A comfort pick.
You mentioned that the Oracle and Earthshaker are both comfort picks. Is there a particular strat you guys been working on together for those heroes?
I mean, they're just solid heroes they like to pick together. Usually they like to pair it up with like a good offlaner that can round it all well. So they can just run around creating space for the one. But more or less, they like to just draft what they're comfortable with.
I think what in the sort of early stages of the tournament, I think some of the advice the coaching panel were giving to the guys of Advantage was, you know, you're quite new to the game, just go out, play a lot of heroes, find like, you know, try a lot of things, find a few which feel comfortable, and you know, concentrate on them. Do you know if the guys have been trying different heroes at all, or are you just been sort of focusing on, you know, a small pool of heroes?
In the pubs they've played, they've been trying all sorts of things. So yeah,
And
I think
is that been working out well, or?
I mean, sometimes it works out well, sometimes it just fails completely. But I think they've more or less found what they're comfortable with.
It looks like there's a lot of carry bands that will be struggling to find a carry for both teams at this rate. But there is a Slark that comes out in the way of Devanch.
I like the Slark pick. They've recognized the Medusas out of the pool, which at least in the highest level of Pro Dota has been the response pick to this Slark. And I like the lane. Like you've got the Oracle behind it. Like I don't know. Everything about this Slark pick seems really advantageous, and I want to see an instant response pick basically from Radiant to address this. Otherwise, I think they're going to run into a lot of issues in how they want to play these team fights on Radiant side, which is like, okay, let's out sustain the enemy team and just like out man mode them. But it's really hard to do against the Slark with a defensive support behind him.
Yeah, so my question was going to be, you know, like if you're saying you want to see an immediate response pick on that, like, you know, who would it be then?
Heroes that can we've got two ways of going about dealing with Slark. Like non-purgeable disables. So Enigma is probably king that I think of here in terms of pause forward. Obviously, they've just picked the Snapfire, but I mean, Enigma would be your go-to hero to deal with Slark Oracle, like stuff that can't be dispelled. I can't think of other spells off the top of my head. Obviously, if Faceless Void wasn't such a garbage hero, maybe that would be something to consider. But yeah, just stuff along those lines to make sure that their reset capabilities on Dire side aren't going to be so abusable.
They still had one support left to pick. I am considering whether they could have picked Ancient Apparition here or not. It would put their team on a bit less of lockdown than they would like, probably, but it could still have been a good pick.
So we see a Snapfire and a Mars. How do you feel about those two?
Mm,
coming out?
And here we see the Death Prophet response pick. So the Death Prophet's on the Dazzle side, which is quite nice. Okay. This is a little bit weird. I want to say that I'm liking Radiant side right now because I feel like they can play much faster, and they're a lot more. How do I put it? They can kind of just run at you at the moment. It's really scary. I don't see how they address this Death Prophet at the moment. With the Dazzle save, they've got Snapfire to cover for her if she gets gone on by these two melee cores with Snap ulti. So it's really going to be quite punishing to try and go on this Death Prophet if she has one or two heroes behind her. Obviously, if
Yeah.
Mars has a great lane, though, I think they can start to abuse her. But this Mars' lane has to go really well, I think, or this Death Prophet's going to run away with the game.
I would have probably preferred it more
What
if
the
Dire
good
picked Death
echo
Prophet on
there.
their fourth pick.
I think it would have made more sense than Dire as
Yeah.
well. I mean, Radiant recognized it's one of the strongest mids still in the pool, and they picked it up, so props to them.
Just to ask your opinion, what do you think of Death Prophet as a support? I'm not saying it's necessarily going to be played support in this game by any means, but just in general, how do you feel as Death Prophet as a support?
It's definitely more commonly played as a mid than a support, but when I do see it as a support,
I'm aware of that. I've got a
yeah.
good friend who claims it's a great support, and I want like to prove them wrong. So I'm asking you guys your professional opinion.
From what I've seen of it,
I've seen it work.
Yeah, it does really well against lanes that don't pose immediate kill threat, like Sand King Mirana, something like that. If it's like a slow like damage over time lane, which doesn't have like immediate burst, I've seen the Death Prophets just crush those lanes, and it's really quite punishing. I think it's quite feast or famine, honestly. If the lane can't immediately kill her and like 100-0 her, she kind of just completely outtrades 1 versus 2, and it's so painful to play against. But otherwise, I've also seen the hero just get completely eviscerated in lanes where that just decide to kill her because she can't out-sustain it.
Yeah.
So it looks like feels good, and they're still looking for a carry while Devansh need a mid by the look of things. If you guys were controlling the draft for both these teams right now, who do you pick?
I think Dire just needs one of those traditional spirit heroes that provide reach. Like you can see that Radiant side ban out the puck because they're scared of someone that can just start a fight, enabling this Mars and this Earthshaker to get within range and get their big spells off online. With regards to Radiant, they're going for this very early tempo, and they kind of. I actually have no idea what Radiant picks here.
For Dire, can I throw a suggestion? What do you feel about Phoenix mid? To pair it up with the Mars. For when the team fights start happening. Am I completely wrong?
The only issue with Phoenix mid I see here is that it you're playing into the Oracle as Phoenix, and and Slark. So the egg reset isn't that safe because you're against 2 dispels. So your mid may just die every fight.
No, I was saying Phoenix on the side of Dire.
Oh, for sorry. Bleh.
Yeah,
I think it would have been surprisingly cool actually to see Phoenix mid for Dire.
Yeah.
I don't think they
Mars
will. I
and
think it would be cool.
Phoenix really combos well together.
But now that you see the Riki in this pool, like Phoenix's biggest issue are heroes that are going to find her and kill her 100-0 basically, and Riki does that job, so it would be quite a scary Phoenix game.
30 seconds
How do you
left.
think this Mars is going to do in lane against Ricky Dazzle?
With Earthshaker, I mean, it's a fairly passive lane for the Mars, I'd imagine. I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure you're just chilling, you're farming, you block the camps, control waves effectively. It should be just top. I mean, yeah, I'd imagine that matchup should just be pretty chill. Shadow Friend. I think the SF pick's kind of cool. The BKB progression for SF is always the most important thing to consider when you want to pick it, and the only real BKB piercing disable is Axe Hole this game. One thing I will say though is they're pretty chunky on the enemy team, and he may have some issues 100 to 0ing some people unless he perfectly times the Yule's ult combo.
Yeah.
But otherwise, I like the pick.
It's also
Combos
one
well
of the
with Mars.
comfort picks for Angad.
I think Dire Draft just seems way easier to execute here, actually.
Yeah, I agree with you.
With you're saying that, Vanch, even though it's your own team, you're going with them in this game.
Yeah.
Okay, well, looks like the guys on the coaching panel are favoring Devanch for this first game based on those drafts. On that note, we'll pass you over to our casters, who are Jay and Master. Guys, over to you.
Come and get it.
Okay, thank you for your words, Ipsy. Thank you for our coaches for analysis and for a lot of wisdom being shared. Now, this is week 7 out of 7 of Chaos Academy League. This is second out of the 4 series. You know, we're closing to an end of the era, in a sense, end of a beginning, kind of. But with that being said, let's not be sentimental. Let's enjoy the game. Mars, seeing these picks, seeing those lineups, who do you think should take the game one? Just based off the picks, based off the synergies.
I'm actually going to say Radiant, just
Oh,
because
wow.
I've seen SRN on Aches last week, and he's been really good, like hands down best on his team. And now the
Okay.
team has a plan. That's like the main issue last game was that last week was that they didn't have a plan. You know, they just counterpicked and tried to do this, and it didn't work. Now they're just on
Talking
an early
about
game
plan,
1-2.
talking about plan and Interleague is running you. We
Yeah.
have a little bit of smoke action going on, some wraparound, and it could look very bad for our friends on the bottom lane.
Oh yeah, let's see Mars walking in. Smoke is spoken, X first, as well as Snapfire now. Coming out, Mars, yeah, he should be dead, but oh, missing actually
Ooh,
on the
that
first
wave.
ability. Nice pushback for Mars, still should be going down. Rick actually committing, and yeah, that's first blood. Dazzle picking up the rune, maybe? Yeah, Snapfire going for the second. So, nice start there for Radiant, picking up the first blood on Mars.
Yeah, maybe a slightly slower reaction on Kisho. I think if he threw the Fisher just a bit earlier, he could have allowed his axe to walk away, but sadly it's the way it is. The first blood goes that way. Now, for me, the matchup for this game, and I think that's gonna decide this first game of the series, is gonna be the top lane. Because we have Axe against the Slark, and, you know, like, long term, it's like, X is really good into Slark if you can get ahead, right? If you get a Blade Mail, you just blink call him with a couple creeps, and even if he gets the ultimate off, you are doing the damage
Yeah,
with
that's
the
true.
counter helix. Ooh,
Yeah.
we have a pause here. We can at least talk more about that. But at the same time, you know, Slark is really big lover of those beefcake of the heroes, especially if somebody gets Graved, right? Or Abaddon or something like that, because he can just get the free stack. Num, 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 num.
Yeah.
So if Slark can survive the onslaught, it's good. And one thing that's a bit concerning for me is on if you look at a Radiant side, right? Like there's a Riki silence in the form of smoke, there's DP smoke, but if they cannot control the Slark, he will probably be able to, you know, get a lot of sags because except the axe and the silences, they don't really have much. Like maybe if you aim it well, the Fire Snap cookie is also potent AoE stun can get through his ultimate if he doesn't have a BKB, but at the same time, you know, it's more about the coordination. It's not like a guaranteed. It's about the positioning and angling, and you can weave in and out of it as a Slark. So I think this matchup and how the top lane will go will tell us a lot about how the game will go.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I guess who knows on that note.
Yeah,
Now,
I'm totally agreeing with you.
y-
It's
yeah.
yeah.
Now, for me, another thing will be also like how much farm this Ricky will get, because we saw like Ricky gets a lot of farm, and there's like late game potential of this combination of the Axe jumping in, right? Ricky having like Battle Fury Aghanims, the cookie cutter build, and you get a call on 2 to 3 heroes, and you suddenly have Ricky in you just killing everybody while he is untargetable.
Yeah, that's the dream. Yeah.
That's the dirty combo, yeah.
He's actually
Both
going
teams.
for the Op of
Oh, sorry.
Corrosion.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah, what
Yeah,
do you
yeah.
think about the Op of Corrosion?
I really like that. Like, I really like this even when in a higher MMR when I'm playing. I like even anti-mages. Every carry that can afford it is going for it if they feel like they can get pressure on a lane. And I mean, you're laning with the Dazzle. Dazzle is one of the most annoying position 5s or supports to play because he has decent range, he has decent right click, and the poison touch is just straight up menace. So I really, 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 really like it. I was thinking they may do lane switch up because as much as Dazzle and Axe are kind of counter picks to each other because of a different reason, they're also great pairing.
Oh yeah.
But even this way, like if you get the poison touch slow with Ricky's ability to blink strike on top of someone, and he has the orb of corrosion, that's so much slow, that's so much negative armor, so much over the time damage, and unless you can toss Ricky back with a spear and actually pin him to a tree, that may be a little bit of an issue for you to survive through.
Yeah, bottom lane already getting aggressive onto the Shaker. I mean, he doesn't have much regen. He has just one tango left now. Fissure coming out. Nice return damage on Dazzle. Dazzle has to be careful here. Mouse shouldn't be able to run him down, right? Nah, just some.
Yeah, he shouldn't. The cooldown on a God's Rebuke is too much. But like, hey, you try this if you're level 2? Woo wee! That's a whole different ball game there with the spear as well. And yeah, Shaker not much regen, but then again, that's the typical build, right? You get boots and you either get a tangos or two clarities to toss off that first issue. It looks like Earthshaker also, sadly, Kisho having some heavy internet issue or packet loss, and you don't like to see it. We want to see a nice and interesting game. Now, something to mention for our viewers at home: neither of the teams, sadly, managed to lock in a win in this league yet. So, on a positive side, one of the teams will win their first series
That's true.
in Kios Academy. On the negative note, one of the teams is going to be left with donuts, the good old big zero. So,
Yeah, but
yeah,
it's an educational league. You can't really go down to Division 2 or something because there's no Division
Yeah.
2. So
well, not yet. Who knows? Wink, wink. Nah, I don't know anything about the internal planning. Yeah, that's true. But also one good thing, I'm excited because FGM was the only FGM, and I'm not sure if I casted team for maybe once, but FGM was a team I've never casted throughout the whole league, and I got a lot of devanche. And even though they lost, and like the losses looked sometimes downright brutal, like 21 minutes in, 38 to 7, 30k gold, like they are very new to the game.
Yeah.
And they have been like seeing them, pretty much bi-weekly, seeing the improvements that they are making. There's always a little bit missing, and obviously the more experienced teams are gonna take advantage of it. But their laning phase has been getting better. Their drafts had been getting better. Their I would say team cohesion and synergy and their comfort with one another has been getting better. So even if they, I hope they win today. Obviously, I'm kind of biased.
Okay.
But even if they don't, I like just seeing their growth has been really, really amazing.
Nice. Okay. Yeah, I've been coming a little bit late, so I've only cast one series. Feels good, man, against the 9-inch males. So
Okay, so you're more experienced with FGM than I am.
yeah, so obviously I'm biased for Feels Good, man. I just want them to win.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't know what it's like to be incorrect. I'll ask you after the series is done. Anyway, bit of a war between the casters. Yeah. Now, both side lanes are probably going to be interesting. We're probably going to be a bit of a brawl fest on both. Both lineups picked and are trying to play very aggressive, which I like. But what about this mid lane? SF, a hero that we've seen pop off with the Arcane Blink, which was freaking disgusting.
Oh yeah.
And DP, a hero we've been seeing pop off on not just mid, and not just offlane, but even on a support position, just because of how good she is, how early of a pressure she has, how good the exorcism buffs that had happened recently with the added movement speed are just synergizing so well with what the hero wants to do. Who do you think should take this matchup? Because both heroes have their strong and weak points.
I honestly think mid lane shouldn't be that exciting because both of them just want to push out the lane and go into their jungle. I don't think there's anything happening.
Oh yeah, the political answer. I don't care about that. Who wins? Who should win this matchup? You look at it. DPSF.
Honestly,
Who takes the laning phase?
of course, with the Spirit Siphon, DP should win.
Mm-hmm.
But, you know, if he's got a stick. Shadowfiend has an early stick. He's got the Fairy Fire and the Mango. He can just turn around, pop his razors,
Yeah.
and
Uh,
Spirit Siphon is not that fast.
Yeah, not on early levels especially, but also don't forget like somewhat recent changes or like, well, it has been in the game for a long time, but the extra added damage from like comboing crazes, right? It can come into the play. I still find in my pubs people who just underestimate it, especially once Shadowfiend hits that level, 3-5, the level 2 or the level 3 in the Shadow Race.
Yeah.
Like the extra damage per stack, it surprised people because it's basically an extra race worth of damage.
Jesus
And
Christ, yeah.
I've seen people being cut off by that per stack.
Yeah.
Also,
Yeah, no,
another
let's get
thing,
here. He's stuck,
I
he's
think
stuck,
like
he's stuck.
as far as lane pressure go, I kind of have to agree with you. DP should theoretically take it just because of her sustain, right?
Yeah.
But Shadowfiend is probably way better at farming jungle. So if supports make stacks for him, or if he stacks the side camp to the right, next to the lane, the small camp, you stack it once, twice. You send yourself a clarity, or you get
Yoink.
bottle refill. You double, triple raise it, and suddenly you get like what 6, 10 extra creeps, 200-300 gold easy. And this is the way you can, I guess, like catch up to or like offset the pure lane dominance that DP provides there. So definitely going to be interesting.
Okay.
For me, at least.
I'm not that much of a mid player, and I never played Shadowfiend. So, what do you think? Why is he building a null talisman? Is that the Shadowfiend build?
Yeah, it can be. I mean, it's I'm not a huge mid player of myself. I'm mostly a supporter and offlaner, though. I've been getting more into the mid. But the thing is, like, you want stats, and
Yeah, true.
the talisman helps him. He's obviously agility hero, so you could be like, oh, why not Raid Band? But the null talisman, it still gives him good stats, give him a lot more mana than Raid Band would, and Shadowfiend is kind of dry on mana in a sense.
Okay.
So it's not uncommon to see him just getting this like early null or early sometimes raid mass or the
The
mask
Raid
to Raid Band, to like try to offset some of the right clicking when, like, for example, before he gets the souls from Necromancer, right? His right click is kind of sad, sad and small, and he wants to offset that. He wants to get a bit tanky, and the null talisman also helps with just the mana retention, right? So and mana regen. Don't forget about the intelligence's secondary effect now. So with that being said, I kind of like it. I hate when I see mid laner just rushing the bottle straight up unless they got like a first blood, because ultimately what it leads to is they are weaker when it comes to trading right clicks and having less stats, less HP, less mana, less armor. So definitely a good choice. I wouldn't be angry or mad if I, for example, see him going for very quick brown boots just to get out of the siphon tad bit early.
Yeah.
But I don't think it's incorrect. I like it. He's like gearing up. He gets the stick. He's gonna get one soon. He wants to get the null talisman. Just making sure he doesn't fall to some random couple hits from the Crypt Swarm into the Spirit Siphon and all that.
Yeah, it's all about just sustaining, keeping that mana high, and just like I said.
Yeah.
Push the
We
way
see
forward.
some very positive vibes from both teams welcoming the Shaker back and being happy. G's are being said in the chat. It's not GG as in good game. It's G as a go time, ladies and gentlemen. So hopefully soon we'll get an outpost. And hopefully Keyshaw, the Earthshaker,
A little messy.
his internet will settle down and he'll be able to perform.
Yeah, that would be nice. Especially since, last week Fields Goodman was on the receiving end. The mid laner was like
really?
constantly playing with 3000 ping. Actually stopped playing. We went to 0 and 7 as a puck.
Oh no, that's that you don't want to see. And it's also a shame, right? Because it's gonna be a very interesting matchup. Not only are teams learning, but it's fun to play, fun to watch, fun to cast and commentate. So it's definitely like nice seeing like getting the full-fledged experience and no cheaping out.
Yeah,
On
definitely.
top, actually, maybe a little bit of job for you. Someone kind of being. Oh, the whole top lane.
Oh, they're going
Wow.
onto the Slark. Slark has to pounce out, yeah. Did not skill the Dark Pact, and probably the right decision there.
Yeah, definitely. The first early levels, especially, the Slark is going to be a bit weaker, wants to play a bit safe. Once he gets, the stake wand, maybe the threads, right, maybe extra raid band, he should be fine. But this harassment, ooh, another pause. This time from a Mars, same team though, and something may be happening on the bottom lane. That is unfortunate, ladies and gentlemen, but both teams are being very good sports about it, which, we all like to see that, right? This is not your pub when everybody's just mashing the F9 button, get the unpause as soon as possible, but let's hope the issues stop prevailing.
Yeah.
Now, I want to ask you, since so far we're in kind of a stalemate because of the unfortunate pauses,
Yeah.
what would you like to see from both carries build-wise? Like, I don't mean early on, because we see that the Slark is going, for that Orb of Corrosion. We already talked about that. And Slark is probably going to go for his stat items. Ooh, he's actually having Phase Boots instead of Threads. Interesting.
Mhm.
Now, what would you like to see itemization from both carries? Like, what would you like to see on Slark, and what would you like to see on a Riki? Like, not seeing how the game obviously will go and people will adjust the build. But right now, what would you say is like the build for the Slark and the build for the Riki?
Honestly, it's pretty hard for
I
me
mean,
because,
he's-
on the Slark side, I would probably go Echo Saber because it gives you some nice
Mhm.
stats for survivability. It's all just about surviving the jump, of the eggs he's jumping in
Yeah.
or something. With
Mhm.
Riki, it's a little bit more dicey because he's going for the Orb of Corrosion, and also
Mhm.
they want the early pressure. So, do you want to go some early items? Do you want to go fast Sanjin Yasha or some shit, or Maelstrom even, to have a little bit of fun?
Oh, you just hate to see this, ladies and gentlemen.
Or do you want to
Yeah.
go for the Battle Fury and go late? Because, but then you're kind of
Like,
useless in the early fights. So,
yeah, honestly, like I would personally, from what I would like to see from Riki, considering he's going for the Orb of Corrosion, right? Like, people for some reason, even on pubs, don't do it. They like the Battle Fury items, the like Dobson built or whoever popularized that. I would like to see some good old school diffusal here,
oh, okay.
because your only potential problem, right,
Mhm.
is this SF later on or this Slark.
Yeah.
But if you blink on him and you get the cloud on him and you slow him in, unless he has a BKB or Manta or something, he's not gonna be able to leave that cloud.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
And that AoE control is huge. Not to mention that both Shaker and Oracle are very susceptible to heavy mana loss. To an extent, Mars is as well, right? So
Yeah.
if you can get a couple hit in a fight, like 3-4 hits, you can drain half the people's mana, right? Like Shaker early, if he's not gonna have the arcanes or they are gonna be used, and you blink him, you smoke him, you hit him 3-4 times until he has a 4-step. He may not even have mana on like Fisher Echo combination. And I would really like to see this, especially seeing their lineup, like having the DP and having the Ags who will be able to give you that constant pressure that like run at you, right?
Mhm.
So I would like them to see synergize with it and like be confident enough in their gameplay to go for it instead of trying to go the farming route.
Yeah.
Because I think that is a legitimately like a
Coming
good
with
way
the
to
woo!
exploit the draft of the Dire. But at the same time, I won't be angry if they decide to later on go for a Battle Fury and kind of, quote unquote, secure their late game, because I think Riki is probably the best scaling hero there is in this game. And you still have, you still have DP, you still have the Dazzle and Axe, which are scaling great as well. So I wouldn't be angry to see it. And
Okay.
I think if I were to be the IGL, I would be like, go for this aggressive build. Let's go for it. Let's just destroy them,
Sure.
unless he gets like 10 kills in a laning phase. And let's not give them a chance. Let's not make it so that this Slark can like, and this SF, they can just farm, go late. This Mars get like blink BKB pipe, then he goes like abyssal or something, and just one unlucky spear may result in just one bad team fight, maybe getting caught off out of the Roche pit or not having a buyback, and it could be game over, right? Which like I wouldn't like to see it. I wouldn't like to put it in a risk. So
Yeah.
I guess that's just me.
Yeah, but interesting
So
point you're
butter
saying.
your
That's the thing, right?
bacon.
If you lose a team fight against Radiant, and if they have excesses running, that's easy two towers down, right?
Yeah, especially later on, right? When the tier ones fall down, that's the reset of the glyph, so you're probably not gonna get something with it. Though, I mean, if you take a mid tier one super early with it, you can even like go into the Roche pit, right? If you didn't waste your cooldowns or you caught off somebody important.
Mhm.
But yeah, just the push power there. I just like the only if the lanes go like kind of equal and everybody's playing to their strength, I think the pressure that Radiant is gonna put on so much earlier than Dire is gonna be able to respond to is worth trying to exploit that. Because
Yeah.
also look at the supports like Shaker. Shaker likes his blink. And Shaker, even if you're having good game, you're probably not going to get the blink between like 13, 14 minutes. Now, if you're not having the great game and your team is losing tier 1, so there's less of a map and less of a jungle for you and your course to farm, your blink can even be later, like 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20 plus minutes, right?
Yeah.
And the more pressure you put, the more like stress you are putting on the enemy team, and they are not able to farm as freely as much. So less farm for Mars, less farm for Shaker, and suddenly you have both of these heroes that kind of like to be passive and greedy early on, get their 1-2 items, and then start being really disruptive and really bad for you in a team fight. And well, you took their tier ones. You're taking like 1/3 of their maps that they can easily farm. If they try to go to the side lane and maybe get a cheeky greedy farm, you smoke on them, you kill them. So why let Dire be the problem with the farm that you would give them that way, instead of just going early and stomping them?
Yeah. One thing, the eggs. You know, it's probably bad pun
Are we
here.
talking about Ricky? I assume, right?
Yeah, true. I want to talk
Okay,
about the X factor.
Oh, X Factor.
Oh,
Okay.
what a bad pun here.
All
Okay.
puns intended.
Yeah, of course, of course. You know, like I said, SRN last week, he was kind of like the shining beacon of light of Fields Goodman, because in his
Okay.
early game he stomped the lane, and actually they had some issues like going into the mid game with him, like just
Yeah.
running around the lanes. Do you think what is his job here? Of course, he's going to hinder Slark's farming. He's going to get a lot of creeps.
Uh-huh.
Do you think he wants to go like this double bracer Vanguard and then into Blink Dagger, or do you want to just like 7-minute Blink and then rotating around? What do you want?
Again, I think that depends on how your other two lanes go and what is your strategy of the team.
Mhm.
Because if you want to go a bit later, you know, and Riki potentially translating into the Battle Fury and leaving it, you know, all to the DP. DP is strong enough to carry this like 7 to 13 minutes window with one or two of her ultimates, and
Mhm.
you know, Dazzle and Snapfire sitting behind her. So I wouldn't even mind that, like actually getting a bit beefier, you know, making sure that if later on he gets the blink and potential blade mail, it's not just gonna be, you know, you lose into Requiem and you are gonna get like 80% of your HP down, or Slark jumps on you, uses his ultimate, and Shaker echoes you, and you are pretty much dead, and you have to get away from the fight. So if this is your plan, you know, playing a bit longer game, I don't have a problem with that. I like it. I like stat items on the offline, you know, if you can afford them. But at the same time, if they want to keep pedal to the metal, you know,
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind seeing like maybe get one stat item, you know, maybe, and then you go for like the blink into Vanguard, you know, phase boots potentially. I would even maybe skip a blade mail and just get a BKB this game, and yeah, you know, just like help the DP create the pressure, and if Ricky goes for this like more aggressive and less farming build without a Battle Fury, also be able to be there to support him. But again, I think that's more like depends on the overall plan
Mhm.
and how the lanes pan out, rather than like what's good or bad.
Yeah.
Now, I think getting the first bracer right now is just not bad, because the only way you die, like they don't have burst on that lane, right? So like the only way you die is when you get constantly poked by someone's oracle, one especially once he's level 3 and he gets up 2 levels in purifying flames, and you know Slark hits you a couple times, then you get like under half HP, Slark suddenly pounces you into another fortunes and purifying flames, and then suddenly you're like dead. So making sure that you get that one bracer and your HP immediately goes over 1k, and by the time oracle is level 3 you probably have like 1400 HP, is like good enough for this lane particular. As for the second bracer and like more, you know, and then going Vanguard and then going boots and then like skip and then maybe the blink, I think again that more depends on their pacing and how the lane goes, because maybe they want to go later, but let's say that DPS lane didn't go particularly well, or they cannot get enough pressure. So maybe instead of a Vanguard or another stat item, X will have to go the blink so they can like 3-4 man smoke and get the picks, but keep the pressure. So yeah, hard to say. Definitely good insight from you though. Shadow Fiend is going for the standard, or wants to go for the standard heals. Now, what do you think about that build? Would you go with this game? Like this quick heals?
Yeah, probably. I mean, you've got some potential, like
Mhm.
solo potential, maybe on the Dazzle, most likely. Like, there's not really anything else you can do. And if you're
Probably,
fast with
yeah.
your fingers, you can see the eggs coming and use maybe yourself before he blinks in.
True, true. Or you can use him, right? You can shift bind it, and when he jumps in, you immediately.
That's
For
true. Yeah.
people who don't know, you can technically do like, if you see enemy hero, you can constantly be like clicking. For me, it's shift bind, like queuing action. So I hold the shift and pick heals on that hero, and when if he blinks it, and then like I click normally without the shift on the map, and I'm
We're
rinse and
actually
repeating this.
blinking forward here, but we'll be able to jump out. Oracle even coming in with the Fortune's
Yeah,
End.
nice.
Yeah,
Nice effort
that's
on using the cookie though, right? Like this is
yeah.
definitely what you want to do on the lane. You don't want to be a lot of snapfires or trying to play like passive or something. No, like try to use the cookie of the cooldown. You know, if you hit the cookie, you get the scatter blast on. That's a shotgun. You
Yeah.
know. Oh, on the bottom, actually, a little bit of action for
Oh
you.
yeah. Ashaka getting really low. Ricky has no jump yet, but still tricks of trade. 1, 2. Interrupting it and
Yeah,
blink.
this is
Shaking.
just.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is just the combination that we talked about, right? The poison touch and stuff. And that was Riki without the Orb of Corrosion. And I think if you look at his career, no, he actually went for the boot and the magic wand before it. But yeah, the lane is just going to get harder and harder on that. And yeah, definitely something you have to watch out for. Oh, on
Yeah.
top.
Slark getting really low again. Has to pounce out. I mean, yeah, he's still level 2. He doesn't have his Dark Pact, and that's what
Yeah.
you want to do. You know, it's just it gets worse and worse every level.
Yeah.
Until it gets better
Yeah,
level 6.
yeah, I think right now Oracle has to make sure that he's, you know, securing him lane, doesn't let what happened right now here you know, the side push just doesn't happen.
Yeah.
He's trailing the Snapfire because, like, Slark needs to hit that level 4 or 5, you know, get his item, get really close to level 6, and then he can start playing super aggressive. But before that, he's very susceptible with that. And, you know, X gets level 3. Okay, he went 1-0-1-2, but he gets level 4, he goes for like 1-1-2 build.
Yep.
And then if you get too close to the creep wave, he calls you, you know, maybe gets 1 or 2 counter helixes, then Snapfire is there with a cookie and Scatterblast, and he'll die. Talking about dying.
Yeah, has to jump out again now, Dark Pacting, but he's actually getting slowed. Cookie getting ready.
And that's the
stunning
cookie,
Slark,
yeah.
And that should be the death of Slark. Actually, Felicia wanted to give him the last hit and will survive. I don't know if he
Yeah,
maybe lost
and-
visions there or something, but border lane. Actually, Shaker's some harassment, okay. But yeah, that's Slark basically. What does he do now? They don't have a salve ready, they just have some tangos.
Yeah,
Kurin not
they have to
coming
they have to go pull for him, right? Like someone, this is the thing. Like this lane, you have to play. You can play it aggressively, but you have to play it safe early. And you see this constant, like the moment X can get you
Shadowfiend
off the
actually in the
creep.
mid lane, just sniping down the Death Prophet. Getting the
Okay,
raises, that's what
nice.
you talked about, you know? Level 3 raises and just bam, popping him.
Yeah, runs her down.
Yeah.
Definitely great for you for catching that action. I didn't even see it because on top there was a little bit of go on the Slark. But as I was saying, like the unfortunate thing when whatever carry you play against X
Yeah.
is the fact of the battle hanger, right?
Yeah.
Of the dot. If you can't hit the creeps, if he can like position himself, and you are like feeling so afraid that you cannot even like get it down by killing the creep or denying a creep, that's just really bad for you.
And look at the normally you would say like Slark, oh he's good, he can Dark Pact it off. You don't have the health to Dark Pact it off at level 1 or 2. It's,
Yeah, I don't think you should be dark pacting it off so much. And it looks like because of all this pressure, they're gonna get 3 bounties.
Oh, X actually
Oh, and on
calling
top-
the Oracle with the lane. Nice pull, but not lucky enough with the spins. But you know, Oracle is really low HP. At least they
And not
got the
only
lane this
Oracle.
time.
Yeah, at least they got a lane, but I think these pulls and all that should have come earlier because now it's exactly what we talked about, right? This Axe has 1 bracer. He's actually gonna go probably for early Vanguard looking
Yeah.
for his build. And now if you pull, especially in the unstacked camp, but even into stacked camp, and because of the great placed ward behind the tower, he'll just see it and he'll go contest it. Like Slark doesn't have the levels and items to kill him. Oracle Solo doesn't
Shaker
have shit to kill
getting
him.
just blinked on and zapped on. I don't know, Kishav, he always tries to poke Dazzle, but like you said, Dazzle with the Poison Touch level 2, he's poking way harder than the Earthshaker is.
Yeah, and also it's the thing, like, talking about poking, I think there may be another kill on bot. I'm not so sure on who first though.
I think Dazzle's just fine here, because Mars doesn't have any abilities, and now they will just be able to run him down. Tricks of the trade.
Is the
One
Marsh
last
fine?
hit.
Oh,
Yup,
no.
Mars is dead.
Oh, yeah, that's the problem, right? Because if you're a melee playing against range support, you have to think like whenever you go trade, the range support is gonna get 3 or 4 more right clicks into you as you are coming to him and as you are leaving away from him, unless
Yeah.
you kill him. So that's already unfavorable trade. Now to that you have a Dazzle with decent right click and the poison touch, which he actually decided to put a second point into, and you have trouble, right? And as a Shaker, like he started going on him with a fissure.
Oh, top lane,
when
call
he-
coming out, one more hit. Oh, actually Cookie missing, and now Slark barely being able to get out. But again, really low, doesn't have any region left, just 1 tango on
A little
Oracle.
messy.
He probably
Yeah.
should have
Got
gone
it.
back to base, right? It's nothing
Yeah,
to do.
definitely.
Yeah.
I don't think this is like, he shared him Tango and his break. Oh,
Yeah, but Felicia's coming in, he wants to kill him. Like, he has level 2 Scatterblast. He has to be careful. Actually, they're going for Oracle. And X just, yeah. That's
an easy
Oracle
picking.
dead. I mean, Slark
Yeah.
got out, but...
I think at this point though, like looking at it, right, like we got a kill, but I think at this point it's like, it's better to die as a Slark and return to the line full and get the XP than
Yeah.
like this happens, because you survived, but you're losing so much farm. There was a catapult, your
Yeah.
tower is already on half HP and you're not doing anything, whereas Axe is getting everything. Keisha, actually, wow.
Yeah, actually, he has to be careful because Shadowfiend still is rocking that haste rune, and now with his fissure coming out and doesn't going
Oh,
down.
the
But Keisha as well.
the clutch. And he had a haste. He actually looked at the compote like he wants to go and eat some delicious compote. Like
yeah, he was diving in
Russian
between
boy,
the
but-
tier 1 and tier 2, and
Yeah.
just had the haste still running. Weekend bot lane, just trading with Mars, like not even caring. Has to be a little bit careful because
I think it's to be very careful because it's Darker. There's a sentry, right? And if Darker uses a spear and
Yeah.
catches him, or just bash spears him, that should be enough of damage, to be honest.
oh, actually killing top lane tower already, minute 7, and
Yeah,
yeah.
that's why I said he should have maybe just died. You know,
Yeah.
just died and returned to the lane of full or send more region.
Yeah.
And while all this is happening, also you catch it at the camera as well. SF found the stack, right? So he just farmed it.
Yeah, he did.
Who on the mid lane? Campbell
mean,
wants to do a
that's probably
push,
what
but
it
I'm
is.
not sure if it's gonna be enough.
No, with Shadowfiend rotating in now, Shaker with the fissure,
Ooh,
blocking
nice
actually the
fissure.
way. Nice, really nice. Let's see, does Dazzle have the Grave already? No, he does not. And Death Prophet should be fine, but now the Razors. Oh, missing the first one. Now, oh, actually, Oracle going down. Okay, rotations coming in from the top lane. I mean, Tower's down, why not? And now 4 people in the mid lane. How long do we have on this Exorcism?
Quite a
just
bit
about-
still.
Yeah, maybe a quarter, but yeah.
It's
Really
not going to be
unshakable.
Tower, but at least not only did Kampot not die, right? But he got a kill out of it, and someone maybe showing a bit of an overzealousness wanting to go there. Ooh, SRN, you weren't kidding. He doesn't care. Look at his build. No boots actually gets boots delivered just now. Just a Vanguard Bracer and Gauntlet, the literal come at me bro build, you
I
know?
mean, this guy's confident, you know, in the early, especially
Yeah.
in the early game. Now even with a nice
Yeah.
T-Ward here. Oh, Razor's
And look
coming
at
in.
his HP. Look at his HP and his strength. He's like, do you even lift, bro? He is. He definitely is hitting the gym, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, Dazzle's even coming in with the early medallion.
Yeah. Oh, they're playing that. Oh, I like that. I like that a lot. I don't see this enough. You know, those early support items. That just I love when, and I hope we see it more with the rise of Alchemist, the Earth Spirit going quick medallion into Desolator, Ember Spirit going medallion into Desolator.
Oh, Slark
Ooh,
has
on
to start
top
back
lane.
out. Has to be careful because Pound's coming out, but should be fine. Actually, no, he's getting
Ooh, nice
cookied and
cookie.
now has to be careful. His yeah, face boot's coming in, but that's not enough. Death Prophet even rotating, and that's Slark
Yeah.
going down. Maybe even his courier. Yup, should be down.
Yes, it's gonna be a
Nice.
death to the couriers. But while all this is happening, you kill Slark again, but you conceded like half the tower on mid HP, and
Yeah.
you still don't have the exorcism. So if the team Devange decides to commit, you may lose your mid tier 1, and that is probably the most important tier 1 in the whole game.
That's true. But you know, it was really important. Slark getting a little
Yeah.
bit back, but also before
Oh,
level 6.
someone on a bottom rune, maybe in a bit of an issue.
Someone, yeah, actually, Ricky, he's like doubling him his levels, but should be fine. Now, is he
Yeah,
dodging it
there
with
was-
the Quicksilver trade? Nah, just
No,
taking
no
it like a
need
man.
to just like take it like a champ. But
Oh, actually,
will
steal
he
the
take
X
this like a cheeky little bugger right there, knowing that they have the advantage and decide to just like these players, man, like they don't have impact in the grand scheme of things, but it's such a mental game right there.
Yeah, man. Nice. Okay,
Yeah,
so
definitely
Slark
nice.
finally level 6, has his face boots, going for the stick, and then the Echo Saber like you talked about.
Yeah, definitely a good build considering how, or a good decision on his part considering how the game went. I actually like, maybe people hate me for saying this, but honestly, like, yo, bro, if you believe in your Mars and your SF, just go Midas at this point. Like, it's super greedy, but even the Echo Saber will not allow you to play the long game.
Yeah.
And you see Riki is actually didn't go for the Orb of Corrosion as well and decides to secure the late game with a Battle Fury. So if you right now as a Slark go just fighting build, and you will not be able to find like kill every minute or two, you will fall behind so much harder, and then there's no one to deal with Ricky, Axe, and rest of the team basically. So
yeah,
that could be a big issue.
Exorcism getting popped mid lane? Yeah, they're just getting this tower, with the creep wave. See Shadow Fiend wanting to maybe defend it, but Cookie coming out, missing the Shadow Fiend, but yeah, everybody should be fine. Actually, Radiant, not Radiant Dire, they want to defend this. Mars coming in with the arena.
Oh, Axe!
Maybe from the back, they don't see it. X, yeah, blinking in, but the arena coming in. Not really catching too many people, missing the spear. Shadow Fiend is fine now with the double race, killing the eggs. Dazzle actually has to grave himself, maybe TP out? No. Easy disruption
Nice
from the
stun.
Shaker. Oh, actually, Snapfire on the back, going down as well from the Oracle.
Oh!
Now just Death Prophet living. Should be able to get out. Yeah, no mana for Fissure. But yeah, that's 3 people dead, and that shouldn't have happened,
Yeah, super important. Stretching out a bit now. I was watching the Shadow Fiend. You were watching the great backstab coming from the Darker Void Mars. Like, the thing is, Shadow Fiend was in a bit of a trouble with Axe, and I think it was the Snapfire on top of him. Axe even called him with the full creep wave under the tier 2. But the Marsus Arena just split the team fight. It allows SF to walk away because the rest of the enemy team cannot focus him, and they turn it around, get nice 3 kill. That's something you really don't want to see. And most importantly, while all of this was happening, the Slark was getting the free farm.
With the Arcane Wound, popping up the ultimate, but Tricks of Trade. Yeah, a little bit
Oh,
too slow on the
nice.
timing.
Knowing he has to cancel.
But he
Nice,
still has to
though.
be careful, he has no creeps to hop in. What? Wait.
Oh, what was that?
One
What
script
was
activated?
that
Oop.
angle? I don't know. Maybe he was clicking like to go forward, and one of the creep may have blocked his route, so he like turned for the second. I don't know what was happening, but he probably wasn't killing him
Smoke
anyway.
coming
Oh,
into
on
the
top,
jungle, and
Slark.
Slark didn't actually see them, and yeah, with the cookies, with the call, Slark did again.
Oh, Yeah, a nice synergy, you know, not being overzealous on the call, believing that Felicia is gonna hit the cookie and waiting then and then getting the call, getting the triple Shadow Wave proc on him and just doing so much damage. Yeah,
Yeah.
Slark definitely not having a good game this time around.
No,
But
I also really like that Snapfire actually went for the cooking himself, because normally you would say like X doesn't have a blink dagger, just cook him so you can call, right? But
yeah,
these are not like tier 1, tier 2 teams. You don't have that combination. Maybe X turns around 1 second and then you wasted your cookie. No, you know yourself.
Yeah.
Where are you facing? Just blink on himself. X can catch up. Really
yeah,
like it.
definitely a great presence of mind, really. And there's also no need to risk it. Like you have the ward there, you see him, you know he doesn't see you.
Bottom lane, Oracle getting silenced, but Yule's coming in. Actually, silence himself is Shadow Fiend. Oracle has to be careful. Still ticking from the poison touch. Should be getting down. Nope. Ultimate getting popped with 7 HP. Should, yeah, still be going down.
Yeah,
with the
you
damage
ain't
coming
living
in from
through
the
this,
Wiki.
son.
4 people. Shadow Fiend still wants to be in the area, actually. Has to be careful. Mars popping the arena, catching only the Death Prophet, but that's enough. Death Prophet hitting the spear and will be going down now. Ultimate off Snapfire getting cancelled instantly. Shaker wants to look for the Echo. Maybe Yule's onto the X. Has to be a little bit careful. But looks like it will be fine. Oh, maybe Shadowfiend will he get caught? SRN just, like I said, this guy doesn't care. He knows how strong he is. And they are going to maybe look for the Shadowfiend. Shadowfiend running out, tricks of the trade, hitting him. But yeah,
Really?
Shadowfiend getting out.
Really nice trades happening everywhere, but the Devant showing the improvement over the duration of the league, you know, disengaging well, even grabbing a couple of kills themselves. Also, like Darker Void, he came into the team fight and hit like half HP, and in your pops, even in higher MMR, or in some teams you'll have the offlane where like, oh, I'm afraid I'm gonna die, Lord, I cannot go in, right? And he's like, no, he's like your SRN for the Devant. He just balls so big, he drags them on the concrete, just walks in, gets the arena, amazing pin on the DP,
Oh,
secures
actually,
the kill.
SRN will be, nope, call getting cancelled by the spear. Now encouraging back onto Ricky. Ricky with a nice silence, but...
Oh, the Echo! Echo.
But now, Death Prophet coming in. X is already dead, but Echo Slam onto only the Death Prophet, getting ulted up. Now Felicia jumping into the pit. Shadowfiend will be able to get his ultimate off. Now Keyshawn dying in the backline. Shadowfiend will be going down to this Spirit Siphon. Snapfire getting really low, but also this Exorcism just ticking away, doing so much damage. Now the heal coming out, healing bomb and Grave, and that's 4 people dead. You just talked about damage improving and maybe not going in too deep. And
I'm eating my words. I'm gonna have some words with them afterwards. Yeah.
ah, the caster's curse is real, man. Oh.
Yeah, I'll shut up next time, I guess. Though, again, this was 5v4, right? Like, imagine if the Slark is not so far behind or he's in the fight. He now has his Echo Saber finished.
Yeah, that's
so, if he's in the fight, there were a couple heroes that were, like, about to die. Another thing was, because Oracle was forced to ultimate before, there was nothing to save the Shadow Fiend after he got the nice Requiem off, right?
Yeah.
But if there is the False Promise ready, that could be a whole different ball game, right, in that team fight.
That's true.
At the end of the day, though, it isn't. You know, 4-for-1. It is what it is, man.
Yeah. What do you think actually of Shaker going for the Arcane Boots instead of the Rushing Blink Dagger?
Yeah. I mean, he needs the mana, and he doesn't have anybody else on the team who really gonna get mana boots except the Oracle, and he probably wants to play away from Oracle, so I can see it. But at the same time, like,
actually,
ooh,
Mars
nice
popping the
arena,
arena, going for the Dazzle, but his team is around now. Yule Scepter, slight miscommunication. Actually, he has the double damage if he wants to activate it, but Shadowfiend coming in, has the Yules of his own.
Yeah.
And Mars will be able to walk it off.
Yeah, I wanted to talk about on top lane. We see the ward of the rune that the ward that was about to end that secured that kill on Slark before. But very happy seeing that Slark actually is mindful of his passive and how it works and picking out the position of the wards for his team to get some cheap rewards. And he may be rewarded with it. With a
nice
kill.
kill, but on the backline, Snapfire as well as Death Prophet coming in. Now Grave maybe a little bit early, and now actually Death Prophet has to be careful. 5 people just around him and nobody is on her side. And now with the Yule Scepter coming in, and Requiem. Oh, nice Yule Scepter saving himself. Now even the cookie, but getting popped down. Mortimer's Kiss is not coming in. Now Mars getting a little bit low.
Axe coming in though, SRN.
Yeah, SRN wanting to go for the jump. Still has no blink dagger, so maybe not. But in the backline, Ricky just handling the mouse. Now going onto the Oracle. Oracle is popped out, but Ricky just does not care. Actually has to be careful a little bit. Mars will fall, but actually Cookie coming in. Nice clearance there, but now Eggs with the call. Calling both of them. Going down. 5-man wipe. Only getting the Ricky. Whew.
Oif. That's a big oif right there.
It looked a bit dicey there with you know, Ricky just being a little bit too aggressive, but his team just came in and cleared house.
Yeah. Positive note though, what I can say from the fight, I really like how Dark Void actually got saved by the Oracle's False Promise, which was a great play. But also, like, he knew he's pretty much dead, so he sticked around for. He didn't try to, run away. He didn't try to TP out and survive. He sticked for the duration of the fight, and then he's gotten the important Bash and Spear into the Ricky, which secured the kill with the race from the Shadow Fiend. Sadly, though, Siren was there, got amazing call on like 3 people, and just everything just fell apart at that point. And I have to mention that was Siren without a Blink Dagger, which he now possesses. So,
Oh yeah.
wait,
I don't know how this guy gets
scary.
it. Oh man, but actually they are saving their tier 2 tower. Just maybe Exorcism popped a bit early, and
Yeah. I'm a bit surprised, maybe I would have made a call to maybe try to go for Roche that early on, but maybe, who knows, the arena was so cooled down, Echo is there, who knows, but the Exorcism, the threat of the Exorcism, defended successfully for the Dire, and that gives them more time to get the item. Now, one thing I'm not a huge fan of, and I've been praising Darker Void a lot, but this Yules. I like Yules on Mars, don't get me wrong. I think it's a great item, gives him movement speed, mana regen, setup for a spear, now in this game it also gives him like ability to cleanse the silence off, to dodge some of the damage, to even lift the target that is graved with like 1 HP and just make sure that the Yules 50 damage when you fall down from it just kills you. But I feel this game they really need him to get the jump in. Like, how they win the fight is him jumping on a backline, getting 2-3 heroes in the arena, immediately pinning like Dazzle on DP, and just deleting. I think that like this Yules is a nice defensive play, but considering you already have Yules from SF, for some potential setups and saves, I think you really need that Blink to be able to answer this early aggression that is coming from.
Oh, Radiant smoking into the Dire jungle.
Yeah,
maybe
talking about aggression.
Yeah, I mean, these guys, they've worked on their plays, they're just... They don't want to be like, okay, we had some nice early laning, just chill back. No, they want to fight.
Talking about plays we will
get. Who's he finding? Actually, oh,
quick fingers!
Yeah, nice play there. Now he has to be careful. Actually, going a little bit way far forward, already half HP. Getting waved a little early. In the backline, Mortimer's Kisses coming out. Slark getting actually really low. Has to Dark Pack and Pounce and everything and will come out. Now X blinking in again. Has to maybe take the Region Wound first.
Oh, will there be the Echo?
Shaker. Echo coming in. Denying. Nope. Not enough. Because the team in the backline is getting wrecked actually by Tricks of the Trade. Now Ultimate Kurgan on the Mars again. Mars still has the arena but just has to run away. But the chase of Ricky Maru is real. He just doesn't care.
Really good. That's a lot of HP. Yeah. Oh, the Essence Ring coming through actually. Great item.
Now finding another call onto the Oracle. Has to be careful. Razors again a little bit wonky there. Now Ricky coming in. Nice. Silence there. Darker Void. A little bit HP but...
very good.
Oracle just getting popped by the Crypt Swarm. And now the Exorcism, I don't think it's used too early. Now they will probably get the tier 2 tower bottom.
This time it should get the tower, especially the catapult being there, right? Oh, talking about a catapult. Nope. Okay, the caster curse is really even for the creeps. I don't know, ladies and gentlemen, what to do anymore. Yeah, but like, I'm seeing some nice...
and blinking into the creep event, the Shadow Fiend, but still be careful, he's pretty low. Now, Silence coming in, has hit him, and that's really important because Yule Scepter was coming up. He wanted to kill him, and now maybe one more wave. Nope, Yule Sing himself, but no, that's actually... Mars coming in now with the arena, but has to be careful. His team actually arriving. Death Prophet really fast. SN with another blink. This time won't hit anybody. Death Prophet just being a beast, and Ricky being here as well. Keyshawn, he will just fall. Yep.
Mega now the Team Devanche is feeling the lack of the burst damage, right? Like, I kind of like their pick, but I have to agree with what the coaches are kind of concerned about, and even me seeing the draft, it's like, even if you get someone with the Mars Arena, there's the Dazzle Grave, DP can heal herself.
Shadow Fiend blinking in for the ultimate. This time he has it. No, cancelling it himself, but now he's in way too deep. He doesn't have his blink out. He will just go down. Yeah, that's Shadow Fiend going down for 50 seconds.
I'm just gonna quote DJ Kalt on that. You played yourself. Because he was expecting the Yules to come in, right? So he wanted to bait with the ultimate, and he cancelled it. But I think if he let it go, he may have, he may have actually killed the DP, because I think he would fear Dazzle, and I'm not sure if Dazzle would have gotten the Grave animation off.
Yeah.
So he may have gotten away with the kill, and this way, well, kill happened, but it's not according to what he was envisioning.
Yeah, no, definitely not. So what do you think, Dire? It's looking a little dire right now. Yeah, all the bad puns coming from me right now.
Nice puns. I love you, man. I love you. All puns intended, and I absolutely love it. Now, this is where the Mars not having a blink comes into the play, I think. Because if you have the blink, you can try to make a play in a Roche pit. Exorcism is down. You can maybe, try to sneak Roshan, steal it, get a nice arena pin, but without it, they just cannot go into the pit, right?
And
They are
speaking
pinging
about
the
the pit,
wars. Yeah, the Rosh is going down.
yeah,
I don't think there's anything to really comment there on it, sadly. Unless we see a repeat of what we saw the previous series when Roshan just 1v1 enemy carry and kills him successfully, the Rosh is going to go down. That's going to be
Instantly
Aegis
smoking.
advantage. Yeah, I really like it. And I like also one thing about the previous smoke, right, where Ags jump the mid and SF managed to jump back, and then we get that whole fight.
Oh,
Ooh,
they're actually seeing the
actually.
slug. X. Oh, again.
Oh.
Quick fingers here from Dire team. Maybe Shaker with a fissure. Has to be... Oh, no, actually, Cookie onto the Shaker. Will run him down. Slug getting out with his ultimate, but Shaker not so lucky. Yeah, like... Wow, Radiant. I mean,
Yeah.
I knew they could play this fast with their lineup and shit, but I didn't actually think they would play this fast. Especially
Yeah.
with Ricky
And
going the
talking about
competitive
playing
route.
fast, look at Ricky. Look at his items. He actually does have the items already with the
Yeah.
Battle Fury.
Now,
And
Exorcism
he's like
getting popped.
halfway through the Basher.
New Scepter, silence coming in, yep. Actually, oh, the call. You can dark pack that off, and that's locked down, 45 seconds. Shadow Fiend trying to push out the wave.
It's looking spicy indeed now.
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
They're just feeling the pressure of just not being able to really face the team, because this is the thing about the Shaker, right? And even now, I think my bit of a criticism towards Darker, they don't have any blinks. Like, okay, SF has blink, but SF cannot blink in the first, right? So you need your Shaker and your Mars to make the space, to make the plays.
Yeah.
And neither of the hero can. Well, because they don't have the item that allows them to jump. They don't have the blink dagger. And again, like with Shaker, we can expect that. I already explained how it's, you know, a bit more greedier pick. And if you get your towers in your jungle taken over early, which is exactly the case this game, you'll have a hard time fighting farm as a Shaker. With the
Yeah.
Mars, though, you know, I get the Yules. Okay, I don't want to hamper on it too much. I get it; it's a good item. I just think that some games you have to like realize what's your status and how the game is going to look in the next 5 minutes. Look towards that and play and build with that in mind.
Yeah.
And I think here it's a mistake to not having that, you know, the jump factor, the extra item that allows you to either bail someone out of the situation or make an initiation. Talking about an initiation, smoke
Yeah,
actually.
yeah, nice smoke.
It's gonna pop
on the
under ward,
high ground. They will be popped. Oh, Cookie actually not to the low ground, so now he has to be careful. Exorcism not died for 60 seconds, but Arena into nothing. Oh, that
This
hurts.
is bad.
Maybe they
Radiant
still
can turn
get one.
around.
But yeah, you know, Ricky, he's just on Shadow Fiend. He's just, yeah, just go on him. Actually, Yule's coming in, but Shadow Fiend has to blink away, maybe even. Yeah, but now Mars being left alone. Slark coming in from the back. Shaker, I don't know what that does. Didn't hit anybody. Now, huge call, and Echo trying to do anything. Shadow Fiend ulti, but it's all just too little damage. Mortimer's Kiss is coming in from the back on another Eggs. He's dunking one, he's dunking two. Third one to fall, and now just Mars left. Trying to run away, will not be happening. Triple kill for Ricky Maru, and actually Egg stealing the Rampage with his dunks.
Somebody call the cleanup crew. Anyway, yeah, it's we also saw one interesting interaction in the fight, because Oracle makes you immortal and stuff like that, but you know, Axe's dunk works off the HP threshold. So if you ult someone as an Oracle who is below the Axe's threshold, he can still kill him with a Calling Blade. He doesn't care.
Yep.
And we saw that exactly happen to the Shadow Fiend. But yeah, right now I feel that the Devanch is playing well, way better than I see them before. But I think their item choices and the poor laning on the top lane with the Slark is kind of like leading them down this, you know, rabbit hole of just not being able to fight much. And before they had a chance, we saw it in some of the fights where they may have gotten a bit unlucky with some cooldowns or positioning. But right now they're just missing that one or two items, you know, comparatively to everybody else, right?
Yeah.
So it's just hard to bring anybody down. And DP can heal herself, Axe is tanky, there is a Dazzle, there's a Riki who is just elusive and hard to catch. Snapfire went full defensive with extra Glimmer Cape, right? The magic resistance there, so...
Yeah. And I mean, you talked about, you know, Devanch already, like all their games being a little bit stompy, like 30-8. Like, look at the kill thing. I actually, like 10 minutes in, or even 50 minutes in, it was like 11-6 or something. And I wanted to say,
yeah.
that's kind of good. Like you said, they have improved themselves, but now, again, it's looking really grim.
Yeah,
even without a grim
we don't
stroke.
have a grim stroke, but
I didn't want to say
okay,
dire
grim
again, but,
I really like that. I really like
now let's see. I mean, actually, that's Aegis just going down for nothing. Arena getting popped. That's a nice Arena. Actually, Shaker is silenced, is called, maybe dunked. Yep, will not be able to get off his ultimate now. Oh, silence as well onto the Slark. That's too bad. That was such a nice Arena, but just the silence, the cloud from Ricky Mauer being too much. Now finding the Shadow Fiend. Again, 4 people, and now Exorcism is out now. I don't see Radiant leaving this base in this game again.
Yeah, the amount of damage and the control coming from the double AoE silence combination, right? On top of a cookie, on top of an AoE call, BKB piercing potentially, and Dazzle Grave and just like AoE healing, AoE debuff with the poison touch. It's just right now too much to face into. And
Yeah.
as you've mentioned, yeah, like this game they've gotten better, but this is sadly so far this has been Team Devanch, and I think we are gonna see better from them in the second game, even if they manage to come back now. But that's the thing, they like lose the lanes just a little bit,
Mhm.
but then they kind of fall into the trap of like the pace of the enemy team, and instead of trying to break the pace and try to do their own thing and play to their strength and advantages, they kind of just fall into the like they get lulled into this false sense of security and play according to enemy space, and they try to react more than create. And generally when they are already losing a little bit,
Last two are coming in, but again, this silence cloud from the Wikimaru, it's just too damn effective. Tricks of the trading in. Should have been trying to get a sword off, won't be even able to do that. I mean, with 4 swords, maybe 8 before wouldn't have been enough damage anyway. But that's the cleanup. It's just too much damage. Retreating into their
yeah.
fountain. I mean, they're buying back. They want to go for it.
Yeah, Devanch never gives up. Like they're the best team at that.
Yeah,
Like
that's
some people maybe, call the GG, you're desperate, blah blah blah. No, they don't give up. They are new players and they don't give up. Never get rid of this quality, please.
double call, triple call. Actually, everybody going down. Mars.
See,
now
Mars
with the
immediately. Oh, is there gonna be
Spear
spear?
into fountain? No, the silence of Wikimaru again. We talked about it in the early game. Like they don't have that much control. They just have the silence cloud. But fucking hell, this cloud is
Double
doing
AoE,
work.
yeah, the double AoE silence into the call, into everything. It's just too much to deal with, and sadly that's gonna be it. But before we get back the word back to Ipsy and our coaches to analyze the game for us, I just want to finish. Like this is exactly what you see from Devant. Like they are good, but they are just always missing that one thing. Couple unfortunate fights, and then it just kind of snowballs out of the control.
Yeah.
I second game is gonna be better. We're gonna go into the game 3, and Devanch is gonna win the game 3 as well, and they are gonna take this series 2-1. That's my prediction. You don't even have to ask me in the future.
Man, I'm
With
looking
that,
forward to
we'll
it.
probably go back to the guys on the coaching panel to help us more understand what happened this game. So Ipsy, Jans, take the word, please.
Thank you so much, guys. Back with myself, Devanch, and Gaines. Guys, did you enjoy watching that? Especially get straight to you, Gaines. Obviously, your first time here. Did you enjoy it?
I did. I'm actually really impressed with how Radiant played. I've seen 5k average, 6k average stacks unable to play around Death Prophet and card timings, and I'm not sure what Radiant average is, but to see that like 4-man group up mid around the 10-minute card timing, if you're against a team that can play like that in this league, you actually need to first phase respect ban that Death Prophet. That is insanely effective if you're against a team that knows how to play like that.
Yeah, well, it's good. It's good you're enjoying it so far. I'm sure if there's a season 2 there's been words passed around about it, and you'll get to see more then. But yeah, back to this game. We could maybe just go straight back to the sort of laning stage first sort of 10 minutes of the game, and have a chat about that. So I think the Shadow Flame definitely seemed to get the better of Death Prophet in that mid matchup, but it was the 2 side lanes for Devanch that really struggled. In particular, Axe was able to put a lot of pressure on Slark up in that top lane. Guys, talk us through what happened there.
Devanch, these are your boys. Do you wanna give your take?
Yeah, sure. I think in the top lane, they were kind of like they kind of just kept taking bad trades with the axe, and they didn't have the region to back that up, so the lane just kind of crumbled for them. And then one thing that I noticed a lot, that even though they were on like 10 HP, they were just like staying. The Slark was just staying in the lane, staying back, and just hoping to get some XP, and that's not usually how you want to play as a position 1.
Yeah, I think the casters were even suggesting that it'd be better if the Slark just went in and sort of died to respawn at full resources. When you're struggling like that, and maybe you don't even have enough gold, you're unwilling to sort of spend your gold on regen because you want, your Slark, you want to pick up the sort of items. What would be your advice there if you find yourself in that position?
the one thing you can focus on the most in positions like that is the lane equilibrium. You usually want the lane to stay under your tower, and like as a Slark, like even though it's not ideal that you're not going to do good in lane, if the lane kind of goes badly, you can just wait for like level 6, level 7, and then go to the jungle and start doing something there if you lose the lane. So it's just about surviving those first few minutes. So maybe the Oracle can even like keep pulling and leave the XP for the Slark alone.
So, but you said sort of pull that sort of small camp, sort of get that lane equilibrium back onto your tower. Is that sort of what the main thing would be?
Yeah.
So I think that was really the story. As I shouted the laning stage, Shadow Phoenix, I definitely seem to get the better of the Death Prophet in mids, able to get more gold, and I think he managed to get a kill on the Death Prophet as well. But did you want to maybe see whether Shadow Phoenix able to sort of exert that pressure around the map a little bit more, help his lanes out? Do you think he could have done a bit more? So transitioning from that sort of initial laning stage, to sort of the more the mid game.
I don't think it's SF's purpose to
No.
assist his side lanes there. SF's purpose is to mitigate Death Prophet's pressure. In an ideal world for Dire, I think that Mars lane against the Riki is supposed to go even, and essentially Earthshaker's only job is to secure the Mars' lane outside tower, maybe get level 2, and then start bouncing towards mid to put pressure on this Death Prophet at the 2-minute power rune timings, and at the 5-minute cart timings, or even whenever Death Prophet hits mid, because all the focus from Dire in that game has to be on mitigating this Death Prophet's power spikes.
So that you're saying that the Shadow Fiend sort of just be focusing on sort of controlling the Death Prophet, just continually stopping the Death Prophet move around the map instead of helping out his side lanes. Is that kind of what you're saying about?
Absolutely, because as soon as the Shadow Fiend's mid tower goes down, and as we saw that game, the game just turns into you lose so much map control, and it becomes impossible to play.
We did see, I think it was around the 12-minute mark, that sort of mid tower for the Dire did go down, and at that stage, Fiddle's Goodman, they seemed to get a little bit overzealous. They started hitting on the tier 2 at around, I think, it was like 12 minutes, I think. And they ended up losing 3 heroes, while the Slark was able to free farm, maybe sort of recover a little bit. And at that stage, it looked like, maybe Devansh were finding a sort of way back into the game, but unfortunately, it didn't turn out that way. Do you guys have any thoughts at that point in time, around the sort of plays we saw?
I think Feels Good Man overextended a bit. After they got the mid tower, they didn't really have a reason to be there after that. But like it was good that they were trying to keep exerting the pressure, but they should have realized that they shouldn't pressure the mid anymore because they already took the tower. So probably just going back to farm once you use exorcism, or making more heroes go towards the top lane would be better.
Another thing the cast has mentioned or talked quite a lot about was the item builds on the side of Dire, particularly the Mars picking up the Yule Scepter, I think, as opposed to a Blink Dagger. They're saying, they really needed that Mars to jump in on the backlines, catch them in his arena, and take out maybe the Dazzle. Guys, what do you think about those item choices there?
I think in an ideal world, if the Mars's lane, bot lane goes evenly, his ideal item build would be blink into Yules into like BKB or something like that. But as you start falling behind, obviously things don't go to plan. You need to think about what item is gonna change the state of this game. What item is gonna give me the most impact if a favorable team fight shows itself. And when you're behind, Blink Daggers does substantially more than a Yules does. At least for Mars in that game.
And that sort of relies on the Mars catching them in his arena. I think we saw 1 or 2 sort of arena misplays, where he'd drop his arena and he'd miss them. It's unfortunate. Guys, is anything in particular impressed you on the side of Fields Goban in that game? For myself, I thought there was some really nice cookies being thrown around to get stuns and pick up kills that way. But is there anything you guys saw that really impressed you about them? Anything in particular, or just general the way they played?
That one Slark kill near the tier 2 top tower was really well executed. I felt like, especially with the smoke and having the vision placed there already. That was really nice to see.
That I think that was the one where there was 3 heroes, Axe,
Yeah.
Snapfire, and was it possibly the Dazzle sort of went in? I'm not sure who the third one was, but they went in, dropped the cookie, got the stun, and picked up the kill. That was something you really enjoyed seeing. Is that the right one?
Yeah, that kind of like synergy is really hard to come by even in my solo queue pops.
What about you, Gaines? Is anything particular? I think you mentioned the sort of tempo they were playing at a little bit.
I was very impressed with the macro movements just across the board. Other than that random mid feed at the tier 2 they had, I thought I was really impressed with how they were moving around the map.
So yeah, just the map movement, sense of what to do, what times, when they're strong, when to pick a fight, that sort of.
Yeah, they just seemed really comfortable knowing, hey guys, we're insanely strong. Let's just go walk into the enemy jungle and do whatever we want, and they capitalized on that.
And looking ahead to game 2, obviously feels good man picked up the win. Would love to see this to go to a 3-game series. So for Devansh, looking ahead to this game 2 to try and take it to the decider, what advice would you give them at this stage? Particularly Devansh, the coach there, if there's any advice if you could share with your team right now, what would it be?
I would probably tell them to stop feeling that they're they need to realize what they need to do in the lanes. So like for example, in the bottom lane, I don't think the Earthshaker really understood how strong the Dazzle's Q was. So like he died a couple of times due to that, and that really shouldn't have happened usually.
And you mentioned during that first draft that they were picking some of the comfort heroes. Is there any heroes we might see coming out for them?
You might see a Juggernaut if it's not banned. It's been usually banned a lot.
Very fancying the Juggernaut.
Yeah, well, one of the players, their position 1 players, really likes Juggernaut.
Okay, well, I hope that's not giving anything away to anyone from Feels Good Man. But okay, well maybe see the Juggernaut coming out. Gaines, obviously you're new here, but anything you would like to see? Personally, I want to see the Witch Doctor for Feels Good Man come out. Just because he's sort of like the team mascot. But anything you would like to see in terms of the heroes for these teams?
I will say, because since you're mentioning that Witch Doctor pick, I'm surprised with how Feels Good Man is banning their first phase bans if they want to pick this Witch Doctor. Because I believe we saw Timbersaw Underlord bans, and I would imagine for a team that is comfortable around Witch Doctor, and if they do want to play it, you wouldn't really opt for those type of bans. So that's certainly surprising if they do. So I think if we see similar bans in game 2, they probably just don't want to play on the Witch Doctor. Maybe they're trying some new strategies. Is my bet.
Okay, so we should be getting ready for the draft soon. Just waiting for that lobby to come up and the teams to join. Are you able to give us a Witch Doctor Feeling Good Man? Can you give us your best impression of him? Either of you? I know one of you must have it in you.
A Witch Doctor impression?
Yeah, the Feels Good Man.
I don't touch that filthy hero. I'll never.
Same.
Oh, you know how he sounds. I thought one of you at least able to give us a Feels Good Man impression. No, not at all.
No, I'll die on this hill.
Yeah, so I think we're just waiting for the lobby. Should be any minute now. So we'll see what's coming up. Just while we're waiting, Devansh, obviously you've been here from the start. Can you give us maybe some insight in terms of how you guys been getting on, like their plans for, I guess, maybe after the competition? Are they going to be continuing playing Dota together, or Are they gonna turn off their computers and pack it away?
Most of them are still probably going to continue playing Dota. There's some problem, like one or two of them might be taking breaks because they have exams coming. But other than that, yeah, I think they'll continue playing in the
And
long run.
Do you think they'll stick as a team?
Probably.
Good. So we've really enjoyed having them here. I'm just thinking back. There was that spirit lineup they tried to throw at us one week. I guess is there anything you've been sort of coaching them on in particular, like, and that's really impressed you about how they've improved over the past few weeks? Like anything particular you've focused on, you're coaching on, which has helped them improve?
Over the last few weeks, I like we've mainly focused on like the early laning stage, and I'm really impressed by most of the time. I'm really impressed by how they're doing, because like in the first few games in the series, they just sort of crumbled from the start of the laning stage just because the enemy knew how to like abuse their positioning mistakes and their lack of pressure. So that's been really good to see.
Mm-hmm. 'Cause I think we saw it sort of in that that first game there. They've been really struggling with that laning stage mid. So they seem to either sort of come out around even or mid, but it's those sort of side lanes that they're struggling with a lot. One of the things, I think it was Reinhar in the coaching panel one week was saying, if you're struggling in that lane, try and end the laning stage early. Push the wave under tower, go farm neutral keeps, anything like that. The guy's been working on at all.
Yeah, they have been trying to work on it, but they still haven't got it down perfectly.
Okay. Not sure if we've got some connection issues. The lobby should. Oh god, there it is. Perfect timing. Just before I run out of things to say, with the lobby for the game 2 is up. So we'll see what's coming out here. You mentioned the Juggernaut. You'd like to see him. So we'll see if he happens.
Da-da-dum-dum.
So an axe and an Underlord ban.
I will say I'd like to see Radiant this time around. So maybe steer away from that Earthshaker pick. Earthshaker is one of those heroes that like really kind of weakens your side lanes if you're not used to how to play around it, and is meant to exert more pressure on mid lane. So if side lanes are their biggest weaknesses in a sense as a team, then I'd certainly look at more static pos fours that can provide strength in lane, like Rubik's or Shamans as pos fours. They could potentially look at Lions if they're feeling really spicy.
Well, I go for Nyx. What do you feel about that one? And we see a Mars again come out. This time on the opposing team.
I like Nyx as a first pick. It seems really good.
Yeah, it's definitely first pick material. It's like Nyx and Puck.
Just in time.
Kind of terrifying heroes can disrupt team fights and be a nuisance across the map.
As for the Mars, I'm expecting a Phoenix pick next.
Does anyone know if Radiant plays mid Pangolier?
They don't.
Unfortunate. I think Pangolier is just one of the nicest heroes into that Mars Phoenix combo. Ooh, and the Witch Doctor as well.
We do have a Witch Doctor in the game then.
Oh, indeed.
Come on, guys! I'm determined to get out of one of you. Give us your best feels good man, or feeling good man from the in the Witch Doctor voice.
Never. If we can see a Pango, maybe I'll do a Pango impression, but I simp for no other hero. Oh god, Mars Snapfire. Ugh. Disgusting.
Bruh.
Have I read in chat right that this Dire team doesn't have a coach?
I would not be the one to answer that. I believe they did at one stage, but they switched, and I think maybe possibly I might be right in saying for a few weeks left they didn't have a coach. But don't quote me on that.
Alright. Because I mean, I like how they draft. It maybe not the first phase ban. Well, I don't know. The first phase bans are a little bit stronger this time around and make a bit more sense. But this, they're opening 2 picks and have been strong both games.
We see the Juggernaut ban.
Yeah.
So we don't get to see that favorite carry for Devanch.
I'm curious about this anti-mage ban. Arguably, probably the worst carry in the game at the moment. Is this a comfort pick that Dire's afraid of?
Not exactly.
Because if if it's not a comfort pick and you have Mars Snapfire on your team, I really wouldn't worry about an anti-mage. Like, that hero is just in dumpster tier, honestly.
Especially against a Mars lane.
Yeah,
Almost
like, you
impossible.
just get your head kicked in, basically. It doesn't synergize with the Witch Doctor, a hero that typically wants to play very aggressively either. I do like the fact that that the Death Prophet has been banned out. I think it's certainly wise to give respect to that hero after how it was played last game.
Yeah.
And the Spectre ban, arguably the second worst carry hero of the patch, has been banned out. I'm not sure why are we not seeing Wraith Kings or the like, who I'd argue are substantially stronger. Wraith Kings, Troll Warlords.
Yeah. What carry do you think Radiant should pick here? The Ursa seems kind of good here.
Mars. So you see, arguably, they're offlane most likely. You see they can disengage with Spear and Cookie. So you kind of want something that can stick to someone or that has lots of chip damage. So heroes to consider in terms of that could be Weaver. Mars is weird into Ursa. I think that lane can go both ways. Um, I think Weaver is probably the strongest candidate right now as a carry for Radiant side.
In particular, do you not like about the anti-mage and Spectre? You're saying that they're really sort of garbage tier carries, but what about them makes them so weak at this point in time?
I mean, what made Spectre strong last patch was that she could pretty much survive any lane while applying a lot of pressure, and then transition to that like early blade mail build and start having impact across the map. And on top of the fact that she scaled well into the late game, so she had presence at all 3 stages of the game, which is terrifying. And that's when the strongest carries shine, when they do apply pressure at all 3 stages of the game. I'd argue that Anti-Mage and Spectre now, both of them lose. Oh, we were picking me out. I'll finish my point. I'd argue, but both of them lose like lane 9 out of 10 times, maybe like 1 every 5 games, and then their mid-game impact is negligible and is simply split pushing. And even when they're online, like even if it's a good game for both of them, it typically doesn't seem like those heroes are like strong enough to make game-winning impacts once they have their items online. I would like to say also that I love this Weaver pick. into the Ursa. It's just Ursa's nightmare is being kited. And now the dire side has multiple methods of kiting. They've got Mars Spear, they can cookie people out, they can Hex Shackles the Ursa if he goes someone. Weaver can disengage with Shikuchi and his all. And on top of that fact, Ursa doesn't have the CC behind him to really mitigate that weakness that he has.
I think Ursa will definitely need a BKB before he can have much impact in these fights.
Do we think this is going to be an off-lane OD or a mid-lane OD?
I think they could keep it open. Both of the people who play it kind of play OD a bit.
I'm trying to think what could nice picks be here. So Radiant kind of needs a fight. So Radiant needs something that can catch this Weaver first off at the start of a fight. If other than relying on Nyx, could be a cool Void Spirit game. 2 projectile stuns that are very easy to dodge. Doesn't care about arena. I mean, all of the spirits are looking pretty nice this game for Radiant. I just thought it was a last band silencer. What?
Yeah.
Is that something they've run before? Made an offlane silencer?
Never, I think.
Interesting ban, man.
Dire team pick. Templar
Ooh.
Assassin.
TA Ursa on the same team. That's some heavy Roche potential. That gives them the burst they need. But unfortunately, it doesn't address their control issue to catch this Weaver. So
10 seconds remaining.
I think this TA is kind of not exactly a meme, but kind of a meme pick because they at the start of like the whole league they said at least in one game we'll pick TA to honor our coach.
at least one game they'll pick TA in memory of you. Well, what gamers! It must make you proud.
Yeah.
It's not the worst TA game in the world. There's a lot of pretty squishy targets. And they can hit a pretty strong tempo where, I mean, who needs to kill the enemy team when you just take their buildings, right? With this TA on Aegis or this
Yeah.
Burst on Aegis. I would like... They kind of lack zone control in Radiant side, so I really want to see a tempo mid coming up from Dire that's going to walk into the enemy jungle and contest this TA stacks.
What do you think if Dire just picks Bat Rider right now? Haven't seen that hero much since they know like his hero damage and his creep damage.
I'd argue that hero's been sent to the Shadow Realm. Honestly, it is. It was. I don't know. You don't even see it in HMR pubs anymore. And from when I've talked to Batrider players about it, it's just not worth picking. Basically, you have to go. You have to like completely destroy your lane, and even then, it isn't. It doesn't feel good.
He is one of those heroes though that completely destroys the lane against a Templar.
True. But it can't contest stacks as freely as it could before it was nerfed, which is why you'd pick it, right? You're either heavy farming your own stacks or you're heavy farming enemy stacks. Oh, it's a Pango! Let's go, gamers!
Where's the Pango impression?
Oh, I have to get my favorite GCSE French out to do this terrible Pango impression. That's my favorite chat line on the show. Try a bit harder next time. That's a bit too British, actually. But I spam that in pubs, dude. It's so much fun. This is a very nice Pango game.
Isn't Pango meant to be French, not British?
Well, unfortunately, I can't do a good enough accent. After COVID ends and I go to France, I'll do my best to pick up on the local dialects.
So guys, what do you like? Dire, Radiant? Who
I
do you
always
feel
go
more
with the team
confident
that has the Templar in it.
I've got to say Dire here. I think Pango into TA Ursa is super sick. Pango with Weaver is a classic. I don't know if you guys have been watching Into the Breach, the DPC Open Qualifiers team that is like the full British stack. They've been running like Pango Weaver, Tidehunter Weaver, and this idea behind these minus armor, stacking minus armor in these games and going for these early roast timings seems to be really prevalent. So I think we're just going to see at some point one of these heroes just get blown up off the face of the earth by Weaver Pango. So that could be fun.
Okay, so coaches a little bit split on who they fancy for game 2. Feels Goodman picked up the win from the opening game, so Devansh looking to take this to the decider, and we will pass it back to our casters, Master and Jay.
Yeah, start us off,
Well-
Jay.
Yeah, I mean, interesting drafts. We see some same heroes, but mostly, the lineups have completely swapped. We see the Mars and the Snapfire, though the Mars is on the opposing team now. There is finally OD. I was hoping Devansh is gonna pick it the first game, but well, didn't happen. We have it for game 2 though. Now, a question for you, right?
Yeah.
Who's gonna take it? Is it gonna go to game 3, which we all want to see, or is it just gonna be 2-0 affair?
I actually have to go with the coaching panel here. Pangolier is my favorite hero of all time, and yeah, I just have to go with Pango.
Same. I agree, but for the sake of just seeing game 3, I'm gonna say it's gonna be Devansh and Radiant taking it. Though, back to coaching panel actually. 10 out of 10 for analysis, like 2 out of 10 for that Pango impersonation. That was trash, man. You need to work on it. I'm sorry, I cannot do it better, man.
Actually, there's smoking here, finding Ursa as well as Witch Doctor, slowing the Ursa. This time they will hit, and Witch. Oh no! Oh, they will hit the Shaker. Ursa will probably die, but the Swashbuckle completely missing. Now Ursa, yeah, he will go down.
Yeah,
And actually,
there's
Reinhar stealing.
a
the win.
little bit of a little bit of a misplay from the combo not hitting the swashbuckler. It happens, but it's not the important one. Let's see if he keeps missing the important ones later as the game goes, or if he's gonna prevail. Now, this mid lane matchup, right? Super interesting. TA into Pango. Pango can actually be very obnoxious, especially level 2 above of the lucky shot, and potentially, some Javelish even into Maelstrom Rush, really taking down the refraction from the TA. But I personally think TA should still win. Like, unless Campo stomps this lane and is able to contest the stacks heavily and gets like the early Javelin or set items, I don't think you can really do much to TA on the lane. I think his strength will be able to like counter rotate, into the ganks and dives, and once he hits level 6, he can be super mobile and just everywhere on the map securing kills. But on the lane wise, I'm expecting Unknown Shadow to, take the bacon home.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, especially in the early levels, Lucky Shot doesn't do, that much.
Yeah.
So TA.
Now
would
the
be
interesting thing,
the base. Yeah.
we actually see that the Ursa's like went to off lane instead of like Weaver facing. Oh, what am I saying? I'm surprised that they let Mars lane into the Ursa instead of like having the Weaver there maybe instead of the Mars, because I think Mars could do way better job into OD potentially, because he cares about mana but not that much. But mostly like Weaver has way easier time against this like bottom lane that doesn't have any like guaranteed annoying catch.
Oh, top lane
Talking
actually.
about catch.
Trying to go for the OD, but yeah, Shaker already maximum time getting in. Now Nukes going for the Kura, no, going for the Shaman instead, but has no impale, so should be able to get out. Actually, he might have to be a little bit careful. Now is
Yeah, just
shackled,
a
and
level
that
one,
should be the
nice.
first blood. Yep. First blood
Yeah,
coming
and
in,
it's going to
Gavage.
the shaman. Actually, the shackle damage doing enough.
Yeah.
Interesting. I don't think that was part of the plan.
Yeah, it was a lot of damage for some stupid checkers, but
Yeah, for some stupid shackles level 1 spell, it
Yeah.
does a lot of damage. But I'm super happy, about it. As most of my life has been spent playing position 5, so getting that first blood, that extra injection of gold, I'll never say no to that. So
actually bottom lane little
interestingly,
action.
on the bottom lane, wow.
Witch Doctor has to be careful, no, but Ursa coming in now, and Felicia one more hit. Maybe even the Maledict being enough. No, gets denied by the neutral.
Like the Maledict was just about to go off. Ursa was about to slap with his claw, but at the end of the day, it's this annoying Wild Wing Ripper with his beak just denying the extra gold.
Now Shaman has to be a little bit careful if the stun hits. Yep, Impale hits, and that should be a dead Shaman actually. I don't think you should. Actually, can he get out? Just, I thought OD might have a little bit much more damage, but no, he doesn't.
Surprisingly, it doesn't. And also interesting build, 1-1-1 build on the offlane, opting into the orb early for some potential harassment, but a bit surprised. I would probably personally play this lane more over the Astral Imprisonment, securing the creeps. And also, you're playing against Weaver and Shadow Shaman, both fairly squishy heroes. Oh, talking about squishy on the bottom, maybe a bit of a go.
Yeah. Also having a really hard time. I mean, again, he went for the Orb of Venom, so wants to pressure the mouse. But it's SRN we're talking about, right? I mean, he's not playing AX, but he's a pretty good early game player, as we've established this week and also last week.
The problem there, though, is like, as an Ursa, you are gonna have a really hard time into the Mars, especially seeing him picking early point into the Bulwark, which I really like, for the extra ability to block not only the projectiles from the Witch Doctor, or some harassment from Witch Doctor, but also negating some of the damage from Ursa.
Oh,
but,
top lane.
Like,
Weaver and Shadow Shaman chasing the OD, maybe with one more. Yeah, actually going for it, and the Bug will take the tower. So that's OD going down as well.
Yeah, and the lines are slowly getting out of control. We saw unfortunate play by
bottom lane Mars actually going in too deep. SRN, what have you done? Chasing the Witch Doctor there, just not respecting the Maledict.
Yeah, level 3, already 2 levels in Maledict, and that's a lot more damage than just the level 1, and the level 1 can already be annoying enough. Now, on the top, I'm gonna just mention, to call him out, LPM with the Shadow Shaman, who was trying to go for a cute play using the Shock on the creeps to maybe get an extended reach over the OD, but there was a full creep wave. You're not getting, it's not gonna jump that far, my friend.
Yeah.
But good presence of mine anyway, and nice kills, slight advantage going over to the FGM.
Yeah. But, I mean, bottom lane, there was huge kill for Ursa and Witch Doctor.
Yeah, definitely. They really need to speed up tempo. Talking about kills on the mid lane, we see trading between both mid laners. And Kampot getting the better of it because of the early Arcane Rune respawn and him being able to snag it for himself.
Yeah, and also has the bottle. TA not going for the bottle, of course. It's TA doesn't have to go.
Top Rune, a little bit of an action going some
yeah, actually, Shackle coming out, just Nix going down. Nice catch there.
Yeah, Kisho was trying to fight for the rune, but this is the danger of flying against the Weaver, right? Especially like level 5, 7. When it gets more into the Shikuchi, it has higher and higher bonus movement speed. It's scaling, and when he saw his support fighting with the Kisho snake, so he just, okay, I'm just gonna torpedo over there, and well, that's what he did, and snag himself a nice kill and the rune.
I actually really like Weaver this patch. It's a nice hero to pick up, of course, against Ursa. He's so freaking elusive and... oh, actually, bottom lane. Ursa jumping in has to be... looking a little careful with a courier again. Oh, second time courier going down, delivering the chainmail, but at what cost?
It didn't even deliver, that's the problem.
No, it did.
Don't
he
think.
has the
chainmail.
It
did?
Yeah,
Does he have it?
just barely.
Okay,
Didn't
lucky
look like
enough,
it, but...
yeah. Ooh, talking about Ursa,
but yeah,
not looking much, he
no
almost died.
region left. Now maybe getting a shared tango, yeah, but again, that's like last game when you set the slug already. That's jumping around on like 20 HP. You'd rather die actually than.
Yeah, I don't think you would rather die here, but I think it was talking about dying.
On my hit.
Oh, nice dodge, fancy footwork on
now,
the
as I
spear.
ain't even diving the Ursa, has to be a little bit careful, getting a little too many tower shots there. I don't know.
Yeah. Using the bulwark very nicely though to negate a lot of the damage. Oh,
Scatter blast, just barely.
Oh, you're very close to the bash, my friend.
Doesn't have mana. Oh no! And now he used it with the God's Rebuke, and now Ursa juking around.
But I don't think Ursa's getting out.
No, he's not going out. Actually, OD dying top. Oh, dodging. He's still fighting. He's dodging. Kills happening on the top lane, but really, I don't care. Now Witch Doctor coming back in with a Maledict. Nice. Stun actually happening again. Has to be careful. There are no creeps left, and Ursa survives.
Wow,
Ah,
that
okay.
was some fancy footwork. That was some Rebos Navi against Alliance
Mid lane
flashback.
actually. Pangolier going down solo against the Templar Assassin. What happened there? He actually
I
used his ult.
looking at the cooldowns, he used the roll, and I think TA used her. Yeah, she used her refraction to negate a lot of the damage, and then probably Campot overstayed his welcome, and then you have angry. You don't have ultimate, probably didn't have mana for swashbuckle or use it aggressively, and you have a very angry Templar assassin.
Yeah, that's unfortunate.
Yeah, that's not. But the place on the bottom that took our attention, holy macaroni, that was some nice fancy footwork
Oh yeah.
coming from the Ursa.
I mean, we were talking about him dying being the better option. He didn't think that at all. He just refuses
Yeah,
to die.
this time around, yeah. No, I definitely think I don't think you ever want to die as a safe laner, but even the greed, his career out, but he was sending himself chainmail and no extra regen. Like if you're trading so much on the lane, you just even want to slow down a bit, the timing on your items.
Yeah.
Oh, on a mid.
Rashta going in has not actually doesn't have the range for the shackles. Maybe getting a little bit
Yeah.
greedy with the ether shock first. Maybe just should have shackled him there.
I don't think he had a range because it's only level 2 shackle and the range is super short on that. I
Missing
feel
again
like.
on the Swashbuckler. Now coming in with the ultimate. Now the shackle is there, and at this place, that's perfect. Pango plays actually getting the first off reflections. Now down, but yeah, now he's going down. Catching up is Kishan. Coming in as well, the Witch Doctor. Witch Doctor has to be careful, that's actually bottom lane. This time Ursa dies. Shackles instantly broken by Kishan. And yeah, looks like Ursa, his luck ran out. Just not even arena use, just a spear into God's Rebuke probably.
Yeah, and Cookie was committed there as well, so I wonder if there was a setup with the Cookie first into, guaranteed spear into the tree. God knows what happens, but it doesn't matter. It resulted into kill and action happening and kills happening, most importantly, across all the lanes. And it's not supports that are dying, it's your cores. And the only lane that was going well so far, really well, which was the mid lane, well, we saw the nice rotation from the Shadow Shaman. It didn't work the first time, but he prevailed. And, Templar Assassin got a bit greedy and paid for it with her life, and that's a big kill.
Oh, actually now Cookie coming in, Witch Doctor just getting ended, and Ursa doesn't do anything about that. He has no points in overpower, and even if, what does he do with that?
Yeah, also, that's the problem again. Ursa is really good if you can, run at the enemy, right? But the moment enemy has, a lot of control, and that's why I really like this Mars pick. But the moment enemy has, a lot of control, a lot of stun, what do? You go on them, they'll just stun you back. You may not die, but they will just walk away if they want to.
Top
And
lane,
now
OD
he's in
getting
danger.
gone on.
And on the bottom, we have a
just
go as
ripped
well.
down, double damage activated, and Pango doesn't even want it. Yeah, maybe he rolls. But the arena, just enraged. That's top lane, yeah, OD will go down. That's actually not a nice one there from Campot. Just spinning twice around Ursa, but doesn't care. Just some victory laps, because Ursa was dead for sure, even with the enrage.
Wonder if that was a little bit intentional,
You gotta give him some slack. He probably just knew he was dead anyway. Just wanted to roll onto him.
They see me rolling. They hate
A little
him.
messy,
Yeah, definitely
but
some
we got it.
maybe some BM, maybe some unfortunate plays, but doesn't matter because it resulted in kills. And as you said, also kill on another lane as well, happening on top. The offlane OD died, and the game again following similar pattern to the first game, where the lanes went just a bit better for the enemy team than for the team Devanch, and suddenly the game is kind of snowballing out of control. Snowballing, all puns intended, no task, but it doesn't matter.
Yeah, but this time getting way earlier on the snowball. The last time we had kind of even now switching on to the net worth. Oh, actually mid lane, Temple Assassin.
Oh, bit of a mistake.
But they could have on Rolling Thunder, so not really any. What do you say?
But
what mistake?
I think maybe Kishore got a bit overzealous because he should have just held his stun. He stunned Pangolier, right? But you're not killing Pango there.
Yeah.
But if he waited with the stun until Shadow Shaman commits the shackle, just to be sure his TA is safe, and then stuns the Shaman, the TA can then safely turn on the Shaman because the Hex is down, the shackles are down, and he can get a kill. Oh, that's a juicy stack going now for TA. If she can farm this, that's gonna be huge.
Actually mid lane, OD trying with Meme Hammer, but will be interrupted by the Cookie. And now, nice. Oh no, actually Shackle coming in, OD getting really low. Campot, he has his ultimate ready.
Cask.
Will jump upward. Actually jumping down again into the Nyx, not hitting the Nyx. OD fading himself out, should still drop actually from the Mortimer's Kisses. Yep. Coming in, and now in the bottom lane, they will go for more. Go for the Witch Doctor, getting hexed up, getting brought down. Meanwhile, Weaver just killing the top tower.
Yeah, there's just a lot of pressure and super aggressive lineup been playing to a perfection by the side of FGM. Definitely taking advantage of their strong suits. And you see it, like, they know that only TA is having like a good time, so they're trying to pressure her. But if the kill doesn't work, they are not lingering on the lane. They're just making moves. They're making space somewhere else. And again, maybe a bit unfortunate, catches for the side of the guys from the Devange, because if you get luckier bounces and the Witch Doctor Kazban doesn't go to the golem but starts bouncing it between the heroes, maybe OD gets the big hammer, not the meme hammer, but the big hammer, the Sanity Eclipse of, maybe it does more damage, maybe he catches Pango off, maybe they manage to then Astral him, drain his mana. But on the mid lane, a little bit of action for you.
TA getting caught actually. Oh no, nice fading out. And now maybe they can even turn it around. TA wants to go for it, but is able to do it. Ward's coming out now. Actually, Pango ultimate. They want to turn it around. Mars is there as well. Maybe with the arena. Yep. Hitting the TA. Now she should be going down. OD actually being able to walk away, but not done yet. The bottle charge is coming in. 1 second for Swashbuckle. Not going for it. But yeah, Ward's committed from the Rushler before he went down, and that's just a lot of damage onto the TA.
Not just on the TA, but also making sure that the tier 1 is going to fall, and whatever subsequent, team fight is going to happen, they're going to have to go back. So that allows the Mars to walk in, get a really good arena, nice pin on the TA, and just finishes the job, right? Now, this is where the problem starts. If you look at also the levels of the enemy now, someone just hit level 6, but he was level 5 in that fight, and Kisho was level 4. So because of how the lanes went, and because of all the rotation, and because of their great movement that FGM was forcing, the supports to go support mid or on the bottom, they've made it so that their supports had such a level and XP and level advantage that they could have made more plays. They had been way more valuable through this early stint, and they're just using that to their advantage to take over the control, to be annoying. And same story as the last game. This Ursa, the scary, is just he's just not having where to farm, but he also cannot fight because their lineups are just that much better for the early.
Reaper's even there. Some nice action into the jungle. Let's see if Radiant will be able to get out. Shackles coming onto the next assassin. He has an impale. Nice. Mini ravage there. Actually, Weaver killing the Witch Doctor in the meantime.
Yeah, but will he pay for it with his life, though?
Probably.
They have an award.
That's the hammer. Really well played there.
There's a small hammer into the big hammer.
But they want to go for the OD actually. Mars with the arena could pop it. Doesn't even need it. Just spear to the tower. Betrayal by your own team.
Yeah, not only that, but Kisho on the back of that, he's coming, trying to help, and then he just gets drive-by killed by the Snapfire Scatterblast. He's just behind the trees.
Now the arena hitting the Ursa, but Spear actually missing now. Ursa turning around, getting the enrage. But yeah, the whole Dire team collapsing on him. Actually, Cookie missing, but yeah, they have just so much control. If one stun misses, they have 3 other. Just Ursa going down, Scatterblast finishing the job, Snapfire.
Yeah, that's the thing. They have that's the great, both game 1 and now the game 2 from the side of FGM. Every hero has some control, pretty much. Every hero is annoying. You go on one hero, or one hero finds you and he can make you stay. He can cancel the TPs. He can CC you. He can deny your movement. It's really, really hard to play into. On the other side, you really don't have a frontliner. You could be, oh, Ursa is my frontline, but he's not really, right? He needs item for that, first of all, and second of all, he needs his team to help him. But what else do you have? Well, there's a stun from the Nyx, there's a stun from Witch Doctor, and there's ODSR Imprisonment. But all of those heroes are fairly squishy, and the only one who could make something happen early on was Kisho, but he just hit level 6. He's been having a terrible, terrible time on this Nyx assassin. So now they are again in this position where Dire wants to fight. And is going for the fight constantly.
Not again.
And they can't answer.
Woozy run. He will actually get out this time. Nice.
Ooh, some Chinese server names. You know your Dota, sir. I like that.
I do, man. I'm playing since 2008. I'm an original.
Oh, yeah. Nice. OG. I'm playing a bit later. I'm 2009. Ooh.
Oh, maybe a catch onto the Pangolier, getting disrupted with a stun. Actually getting brought down. That's a really huge kill. Weaver tried to defend there, but
yeah, this is exactly what they need. More kills like that, though. Again, that's the thing. Mars is a blink. He was far away on SRM, but if he's near, he just jumps arena, spears into the OD to cancel the meme hammer, and that's a whole different fight right there. Like
Oh.
Bangalore survives, gets his ultimate off.
Actually, the
It's
BM
gonna-
tips
Ooh,
coming
the
from his
BM,
own
wow.
team.
Wow, there
Uh,
was. I would like to hear the comms. There's probably something like, "No, I'm fine, bro. I don't need help." And now he's, he's eating his words.
that's normally that's the time of the game where it's like, I don't know, 12-0 or something. I mean, Radiant, they have kills, but it's like it's 12-0 and you're just calling, hey, the first one to die gets everybody, some beers for free. You're paying, and yeah, Bangalore, he's paying the next one.
I mean, but maybe this is the 5-head, right? Because like he knew that the Dota plus points are on the line, so he just goes and tosses 1 kills. You're not gonna lose the game, but he's gonna get like 200 points. I mean, 5-head.
I mean, let's
Easy
check the
math.
fantasy points here right now. Got them all lined up here. Pangolin is still
Yeah.
on top here.
One thing that I really have to praise is if you look at his Mars item build, like SRN has the blink, really good, has even the extra bracer, even the Orb of Venom for slow. But what he's going next for is super important for me. He goes for the Halberd. He knows that right now Ursa is not an issue, and even later, if he is an issue, there's a TA. Ooh, actually,
OD getting the Pango again. This time he will be able to swashbuckle out. Wait, be enough with the hammer. Dropped again, but this time there's a counter initiation you talked about. Mars just sitting in. OD going down, even hitting the Temple Assassin. Now Weaver coming in. Witch Doctor tzing to do some damage. Actually, TA is surviving a bit longer, but that's 4 people down. And that's what you were talking about. If Mars is in the area with his Blink Dagger, he just comes and...
yeah, even if you kill the Pango, right, you're gonna pay for it.
Yeah.
And the Weaver also super high movement hero, very annoying, can get on your backline. With the Swarm, super annoying as well. Now, one thing here, I'm not sure if you've cut it, super interesting interaction. So, Pango jumped out,
Yeah.
but he actually did get stunned by the Meme Hammer.
Radiant's
But because the Swashbuckle works this way, even though he was stunned, the Swashbuckle will finish. Like, you cannot interrupt, like, Swashbuckle, or like you can, but not in with Meme Hammer, like kind of midway through. So, even though he got stunned, he bought the valuable second or two and pulled enemies, bit more, and that allowed the great turn of events for the side of FGM.
Nice play for Mercer on top lane, just getting the first tier 1 on the line. You know,
Yeah, getting
so-
the farm. He knows what he has to do. I also like that he doesn't go to his Battle Fury, but he knows he'll need to farm a bit, so he decides to go for the Maelstrom. Like,
Yeah.
I'm not saying it's gonna win them the game, but this is the correct decision. Like, if you want to farm, but you also will have to kind of fight, and you cannot afford a Battle Fury, this is your go-to. This is Maelstrom. This is gonna tide you over. It allows you to fight. It speeds up your farm. It gives you nice damage, so that's great. Though, then again, if you look at items on the other side, like this Snapfire's 500 gold from GG Boots. This Weaver finished the SNY, has the Maelstrom. As I said, this Mars is going for the Halberd, which I really like. Ooh, smoke, but on top of a track and ward. So let's see if they can make something off of it. Knowing
Dire,
that
they're
the smoke is
just
coming.
not stopping the aggression, like not even for a second. They're just Mars with the spear actually missing now, getting faded out, but the team comes in. Actually, Mars Serpent was still on cooler for some seconds. Nice stun coming in, but TA getting really low Mortimer's kisses in the background, getting huge issues. And now Pangolin popping the ultimate Earth, actually turning it around, getting the Mars. Has to be careful, will be brought down, and now, Nyx getting shackled. They fought well, but they're just, at this point, they're so far behind. Even if the initiation and the execution from the Dire team wasn't really perfect.
Yeah,
It's
and someone
good
may
enough.
actually die on the back of it because Weaver saw him on the greatly placed ward on the Ancient, so
But,
he'll die. He uses
dodging
Swarm,
the-
sees
oh,
the TP.
actually, we'll be able to...
Oof.
Close one.
Maybe after a second attack, if he should coach it in, maybe it would have been enough,
probably.
but either way, he gets off, and this game though is still looking out of control. And there's the problem that I started talking about like 10 minutes ago, if you remember. Like, they don't really have the front line or like a really good stun, right?
Yeah.
Like, OD gets a great astral imprisonment of the start of this fight, but he'll never get the Meme Hammer off, right?
Yeah.
Like, everybody else has a stun.
Yeah.
So unless you have a BKB, or you can have somebody like Ursa running in a back, or TA just jumping in a back line and just doing a lot of trouble for your team, you're just gonna get stunned, controlled, and subsequently kill. Even if the Mars misses a spear, he can afford to. He has the rest of the team to cover for him.
Yeah. And I mean, there was some really good plays and some wonky plays. Like you said, the spear was missing, Nyx having a nice stun, OD starting with the imprisonment, Mars Arena not being too... But they're so far ahead, it just doesn't really matter.
Yeah. Like, the supports on the side of Devanch are sadly just a non-factor. Like,
Yeah.
both of them basically have boots and that's it. They don't have any other items, they don't
Now
have
the
level, they
smoke
don't have a way
getting
to farm.
popped by Ursa. Double damage activated again, swashbuckling misses, but SRN is there again with the arena. Just popping him, and now
Yeah.
even going for more. The Shadow Shaman, he's got the the shard. He's got not even. Oh man, I don't even know what to say. I mean, Radiant's dying, yeah, but Oh, that's just
This
painful.
is just the hunting season on the Team Devange has started, and it looks very uncomfortable. It's gonna be very hard to even try to come back from this game. You like, at this point, you need like, you probably need FGM to overextend a bit into like some nice stun from Witch Doctor and the Nyx, and a huge hammer from OD. Like that's, you pretty much need OD to like delete everybody with the Sanity
Yeah.
Eclipse. And while all of this is happening, TA is on the back line. Nice play from the TA though. They know they cannot contest Roche, so she pushed out the bottom. She got the catapult with like multiple range creeps, brought them to the tower, and they are gonna at least trade the tier 1. So nice presence of mind to not just be sitting in your base or in your jungle and be like, oh, we can't do anything. But at least they're like trying to make something,
That's true.
to happen. Though, again, maybe a bit too little too late. This 29-7, 16k gold. Again, at this point for Devange to come back into the game, which is still possible, but they will need a little bit of help from the MGM side. FGM will need to throw a little bit in a fight or two to allow Devange to get some XP, get some gold, build an extra item or two. Like if they can win one fight. Ooh, TA actually has interesting. She has the X shard on the click. I would be expecting like a BKB rush because that's about the only way you can fight, but it's not gonna be the case. Interesting decision.
What does it do? It silence enemies up to 3 seconds. Okay.
Yeah.
Also increases trap count. I mean,
It's good, but like without a BKB you still can't fight. Like this will not replace BKB. I guess it's like a cheaper item and stuff, but at a certain point when you're losing, like right now, first of all, they should be smoking, which they've done.
there are 5 minutes
Good.
smoking it. Yeah. Going bottom.
They should be trying to look for pick. But before we get to the fight, you should also be looking to future. Like you cannot build the small items. You have to risk it. You have to go for that big ticket item and be like, okay, like we're only gonna win if we survive till here.
Right, popping in, OD getting popped, Hex coming in, but Nyx, that's the problem. He stunned him, but he doesn't have mana for stun. Now he has. Arena coming in, actually going down is the Witch Doctor as well as the Shaman, so 1-for-1 now. Arena will not be doing anything because OD pops out of it. Now Kishan going down, but also Felicia's getting down by the OD hammer. Now that's probably everything she wrote. Yeah, just out of steam. Nice trade so far coming in, but the course just too far ahead.
Yeah, the area denial coming from the side of FGM is just so huge, right? Like you have Mars Arena, you have the Pangoliers rolling Thunder, and without the BKBs you can't really stand and fight. On top of that you have the Hex and Jekyll, you have the area denial also coming from the Mortimer's Kisses, right? And from the Cookie from the Snapfire. On top of that you have Weaver just running all over the place for you. So it's just super hard to deal with, especially without BKBs, and at this point it's like pretty impossible. Like right now you have to smoke, you have to look for pickup and stuff. Also, going back to what I was talking about though, like one thing, like as a TA right now, I get where it comes from. Like at least I'll get some item and maybe that will get us back to the game, But like you'll only win the fights if you have the BKB and if you are able to like delete 2-3 people through the fight. And you will not be able to delete 2-3 people through the fight if you don't have BKB, because you will get just controlled out of your mind. There's no way you will get that many hits, and even if you kill one hero, you will get traded immediately. And that's not good for your team. You need to take more than down with you. You cannot 1-for-1 trade you right now. So that's why I don't really like the item choice. And talking about item choices, and I've had this one game when I was casting with some other people before, and I want to get back to it. If you look at Weaver's items, you see he doesn't have boots, and I really, really, really like it. Like I see so many Weaver going for like treads or sometimes even face boots, and I get it. It's nice stats, it helps you farm, but Weaver has so much movement speed, and especially later on when you get potentially to that level 25. But even without it, like the Shikuchi, if you have items that give you mana regen and allow you to farm, you can just Shikuchi all over the place.
What Nyx just running through it. Interesting.
Yeah, it's just a casual high, but I don't think he wants to stay because the Vendota is about to fall over. And
now it actually has one. He's hiding. Maybe. Oh, Shaman, will you check?
Ooh.
No? No, okay.
Does Shaman want to place the high ground ward though? That's the question, because he was kind of like going there, maybe trying it.
It looked like it, certainly, yeah. I mean, he's got the Arcane Rune, but still 30 seconds because it's just level 1 ultimate. Tier 2 Trout is probably going down. Ursa trying to wrap around, but he's solo, and this ward just sees everything. I mean, honestly, man, I'm so impressed by the Dire because, yeah, they're playing more aggressive. They're playing from a huge, advantage, but they're not. Like,
they are doing all the right moves.
Yeah,
right? They are being just the right amount of
clinical,
aggressive,
yeah, it's
right?
really amazing.
And
what
even
they
seeing
do.
like Feliciano with the sniper using the cookie and knowing the range to jump on the cliff to check for the ward, you know, then jumping back down, like all these small plays and their movements overall, it looks super good. I'm not sure what's their like average MMR or whatever, but they're playing really good. Their drafts are great. They're playing to each other's strength. They have a great timing. They're obviously great communication. You know, using the timing of their ultimates, abilities, and items, and even great warding. Like both games, we saw amazing wards. Oh, on the bottom, a little bit of an action going
Odie
on.
actually fading out. Medium hammer hitting, and again, that's the combination you talked about. Pangolier just dropping out. Actually, Rushler going down first. Now the Mortimer Skistis coming in from the backline. Nyx dropping, and TA getting really low as well. Arena coming in, not even doing anything because it's way too late because TA is dead already. Now roll in from Pangolier will, with a blink dagger, hit Odie again. Odie going down. That's only the Ursa surviving, popping in rage, but everybody's just on him. Maybe Keyshawn with a nice impale. Two people. Can he survive? Odie fading him out, but that still should be the last hurrah. And yeah, that's Weaver going in, getting the Nyx on the dieback. Actually,
Ultra kill. Will there be a rampage?
I mean, he tried for it, but
Yeah.
you know, Felicia even saying, "Come on, go for it, go for the rampage." Dark Avoid.
Try.
Is it still?
I'm not
the
sure.
time should be right. Nah, it's too late, right?
It should be too late now.
Yeah.
Maybe
No,
with that
actually,
first
he's
goal.
going down, right? Yeah, Aegis expired. He doesn't have his ultimate.
Oh no! That's gonna be another set of points being gifted to their own teammate. This time it falls for Reaver, and
But that's what you
maybe a bit
get.
of a dive. Like
That's what you
I
get. I
think-
hate people
yeah.
who fountain dive. That's what you get when you fountain
Yeah,
dive.
I hate it as well. Though I think we'll see. You know, I'm pretty sure if Mars had his ultimate up, he would just go drop it, block the fountain, and they would get the rampage. But yeah, even though it's like prolonging the game a bit, it's not game losing. Ooh, nice
Dark
hex
Avoid,
before
yeah.
he gets stunned.
Nice hex there coming in.
Ah, Kampot. I saw that with swashbuckle again. Man, you need to work on your angles. This is looking embarrassing. Now, all joking aside, I really like how Kampot played this game and the whole mid lane. Keeping with the TA, being nicely aggressive. Also the item. Oh, Kishu. Brother.
Getting
Gets cut out of the place. This is another time where he gets out of the Vendetta, gets the initial hit, and missed the stun. I'm not sure if it's the ping because we know he had an issue with the connection, right? But it just doesn't look well. And even if you get the stun at that point, that's just throwing your life away in a sense. There's like you are not getting the kill, and then again, even if you get the kill, you are just giving yourself away.
Now long range shackle Ursa getting gone on by Pango, by everybody.
Yeah, just a great usage of smoke. They're winning and they know it, but they also see like stuff with wards and they're moving around their vision. They're moving around the bottom jungle, around their vision. Then they see somebody on the top, so they move to the triangle. Just just doing the smart plays, just playing around your vision, keeping up with what you see and what you can get. And well, it's obviously paying off. 34 to 11, 27k gold lead, 30
Oh
minutes
yeah,
in.
definitely. You're almost going for the 1k gold lead a minute, and that's
It's gonna happen. I have trust.
now TA getting brought back by the spear. Not actually in range for it to hit, but doesn't really matter. Kisha.
Yeah, the pin doesn't matter when you have a Shadow Shaman. That's the strength of the lineup, right? Like, even if you miss some of your skill shot stuns, it's just like there's somebody else to cover up for you, which is the great thing. Going back to Kampot and, me joking about him missing swashbuckles and stuff like that, I really like how he went for this build. He went for the Maelstrom into, like, BOT's Blink. He knew he has to stay active. Oh, actually, Darker Void catches someone.
He caught his
he covered for the
Ursa,
Ursa.
actually.
Probably trying to save him, but he's gonna pay for it with his life.
I mean, that's a good team play right there. You're saving your Ursa.
Yeah. No, but then again, we just saw what I was talking about, right? He catches somebody, he tries to go for meme hammer, actually maybe just memeing on his teammate there, but it's just gonna get cancelled. Like, there's gonna be mini ravage. This time Kisho hits the mark.
Some flexing coming out, it's just because the game is over, I can still show that I have
Yeah.
some skills.
Yeah, I would fix my reputation as a person who misses the impales and give you a triple there. Baby, it's a triple and all those meme. But yeah, again, just hopefully not interrupted for 10 seconds. Kampot, like, his item build and his, his place, he knew he wants to make space for his Fever and stay with his team and be aggressive. So he went for this, like, Maelstrom to give him farm and damage and poke. BOT so he can be anywhere, plus the movement speed is just super great for the team. And then he goes into the blink, know this, like, Basher Aghanim's, I'm going full carry, Abyssal. He knows that as long with how strong his team is, as long as he can, like, control whoever they need, they will just win the fight. So he goes for the blink, so he can re-engage. You know, get like the extra jump with the blink.
Oh, Jay jumping in. And pangolin.
Exactly what I was talking about.
Yeah, and just everything collapsing on them. Just arena,
Yeah.
pango, ulti, long range, shackle, just everything just dropping in on them. Buyback on Ursa. He's not giving up. He's never giving up. That's what you talked about. Devansh just keeping on fighting. Nice ultimate, kind of. But
Oh, Campot!
now he's dying.
Oh, fun. Like, this is a way for Devansh to come back, you know, bait them into the fountain one by one and make them stay there.
I mean, it's a lot of money, you know, but yeah.
Yeah,
Bingo
but it's also
Buyback.
a hero that has a buyback versus 5 heroes that don't. So
Yeah,
or 4.
but actually, you know,
Yeah.
Shadow Witchlock actually, he's coming back now with nukes.
Yeah, I wonder if we're gonna get to the like toxic, you know, fountain farming, where there is gonna be like wait for Mars Arena, then block off the base and just go for whoever respawns.
Yeah, I think it won't happen just because they will kill the base before the team is back up. But
Yeah,
you know,
probably.
it's the last game for both of these. Do you wanna like some closing words for both of those teams? Last game of the season.
It's sad seeing it. I was hoping Devansh will be able to take this one, but even though they've lost and those games, you know, look as convincing stomp, I hope they will keep playing. I hope together, but if not, at least individually. And I look forward to seeing them hopefully in season 2 or whatever tournaments we're gonna have, because they are talented, they are great, they don't give up, they have the right mindset, and you know, now they just need a little bit more practice, a little bit more skill, a little bit more polish. With that being said, 2-0 for Feels Good Man. They've played great, they've drafted great. Yeah, that's all I have to say. With that, this was also my last series that I'm gonna be casting. So thank you for being there with me, Master, and to everybody watching. It was a pleasure, and hope to see you soon, guys.
Yeah, man, thanks for the casting. I will be there on Monday. I will be casting the last series, but until then, let's head back to the coaching panel. Take it away.
Yeah, thank you so much, guys. Yeah, feels good, man. Able to pick up the win. No third game in this series. So feels good, man. Eventually getting some points on the board for them, and really unfortunately for Devansh, they're gonna go home with a wooden spoon in this first tournament. Being the sort of team which didn't manage to win in a single series, but yeah, so unfortunate for them, but congratulations to Feels Good Man today. Back with myself, and here we've got Gains, and it looks like I think Devansh is...
I will replacing Devansh for now because something came up personal life.
Okay.
So, hello, I am Devansh 2.0. Oh, I'm sorry. I am discounted Devansh.
I think we're happy enough with you speaking in your normal voice,
Okay.
Reinhard. Thank you.
Fair enough. I tried to replace Devansh, but it didn't work.
I was asking for impressions earlier
Oh,
on a Witch Doctor or a Pango. Can you give us any of them?
Sure. Feeling good on.
Ah, perfect. See, Ian, that's how you do it. Like that's what we wanted from you earlier today.
I was proud of my attempt, just like how a bunch of teams should be proud of how they played in this league.
Very nice. Fair enough.
So yeah, guys, take us through that game 2. What went right, what went wrong for both teams. Give us your TLDR of it.
Do you want to go first, Gates?
Yeah. I will say it felt like Devansh's team didn't understand the strength of their draft. Obviously their side lanes didn't go too great, but they kept trying to force these large engagements into a team of superior team fight. Like we identified in the drafting stage that they did lack control, and that they were very much going to struggle in pinning down these these mobile key targets like the Pango, like the Weaver. And so the way they need to play around that was essentially to try and play these side lanes and just to apply pressure, play the slow game, try and force maybe 1 or 2 TPs here and there, and then maybe they can try and capitalize on that by having the Knicks abuse someone out of position while Feels Good Man isn't grouped as 3 or 4 heroes, because we saw how destructive they can be. If they've got Mars Arena, Snapfire ulti, Pang, the fights spoke for themselves. It was quite the it was quite the slaughter.
And I feel like Team Devansh did really well in the sense of stacking for the Ancient, right? Like we saw, I think it was a 4-stack or even a 5-stack. I'm not quite sure how many stacks of Ancients that TA got, but that is how you play a TA game, right? Like what most people like, hell, even in my bracket, like Ancient, high Ancient, like it's a lower Divine bracket. If you're
No
playing
need,
TA,
no need to show off there, Reinhardt.
no. Like all I'm saying is that if even in higher brackets, if you play TA, they don't stack for you, especially in pubs, right? So like mad props to Team Devansh for like actually thinking, and they did defend the tower long enough for the TA to actually like take the Ancients safely. So that mad props to them. Like that's already like pretty advanced stuff that they are doing. So like very well done for Team Devansh. Or 4 times, said Keshav. Okay, thank you. And one thing that I do agree with Keynes there, like it just felt like Team Devansh, they had this idea in mind of what they want to do, just not how to execute it, right? So like Keynes, if you could like give like, what do you think, like what could they do, like give tips to like Team Devansh, like what could they do to implement the idea that they had?
So I talked earlier about playing more passively in the side lanes and trying to force those TPs. So that's the only person they have in their team. Well, that job basically goes to the TA and the OD, right? I think this OD probably felt pressured to try and get online too early and get active involved with these fights. OD needs to say, no, I'm gonna ignore that. I'm gonna sit in a lane. I'm gonna be cognizant of where my kill threats are on the map. Is this Pango coming to kill me? Is this Mars going to kill me? Is this Sapphire coming to kill me? If not, I'm gonna stay in these lanes. I'm gonna really, really, really force rotations. I'm gonna force 1 or 2 TPs, and that gives all of my other teammates the space they need to play the game. Or that could be TA's job even, but obviously TA really wants to have Blink Deso before she does that. Otherwise, she's kind of a sitting duck. But yeah, but if that's not happening, this game gets hard because they don't have natural wave clear on their supports. Ursa really, really doesn't want to be showing in lanes, I think, because it is quite a scary Ursa game, and he doesn't. Yeah, it very much came down to look, keep an eye on the side lanes and understand that you're never taking a fight if the side lanes aren't set up.
Then wouldn't you want a more passive kind of hero other than Ursa? Like what would you think, like a hero that would fit that kind of a description or that kind of like idea?
The Ursa has multiple issues in this game. So I mentioned in the draft stage how Ursa was going to run into being kited because Mars is in the game and there's a lot of stun. But then he runs into 2 mobile cores in Pango and Weaver. The ideal core in this game, playing against high mobility.
What about something like an Ember Spirit? It's decent against Mars. It's decent against Mars. It's not. It doesn't straight up die from like Snapfire.
Yeah, you need like, it's gonna be like Ember or like Troll. I guess Troll is quite good into Pango. It's not great into Mars though. You kind of have to really, really stomp the lane. But it gives you this like timing, right? Troll gets BKB and then and maybe like a Basher or something. Or I'm not really too familiar with Troll builds, but like and then he becomes this menace, right? If Troll gets chain CC'd, he presses alt, and then you don't really care about these high mobility cores because they're rooted or they're bashed, and then they're just dead.
Yeah, they're just dead.
Like
exactly.
yeah.
And what about Team Feels Good, man? Like although we saw some really nasty wombo combo, it really felt like they were struggling and until like I think the 10 minutes mark when they started grouping up together, right? But it feels like, especially this Pango, like no offense, like he played well in the mid game, but it felt like short in the laning phase. Like he felt short in the CS, he felt short in the tower. Like it just felt like he really needed to come online. Which I'm not saying that's a bad thing, but it just felt like without the help of his team, like I don't know if that's like the correct play. Like there are better heroes than the Pango, no?
Oh yeah, I mean, well, Pango was certainly getting outplayed in the first 8 minutes of that lane. I was watching mid lane quite a lot of that game, and Unknown Shadow was really, really putting him under pressure. I think, and abusing this Pangoliers, especially in the mechanical game. But then obviously we saw the rotation from the Shaman. TA stepped up far too aggressively, and then we also go back to this idea of Radiant not being aware of what makes their team strong. We saw TA trying to fight a Pangolier with a Shaman next to him while Pango had ult, and it's we're kind of and then it went disastrously. I think they lost
Yeah.
2 or 3 heroes. Like they just needed the presence of mind to be like, okay, Pango is a strong hero that's going to kill us. All TA has to do is go back to jungle as soon as she's pressured in lane, and one of the supports can take her lane. And eventually, TA hits her 2 item timing, and the game gets a lot easier to play.
Okay, go ahead. Yeah.
I was gonna say, guys, we talked a lot there about things that maybe Devanch could have improved on, but if we want to give some credit to Feels Goodman, what did you enjoy watching them? Personally, I think there was some really nice Mars blinking and dropping the arena, Snapfire firing the ulti from the back lines. What really impressed you, I guess, over those 2 games, and maybe thinking back about the past number of weeks, throughout these 2 games today, is anything particular that's really impressed you guys? Something that maybe you don't think they would have been capable of in the first week or 2?
Okay, I guess I should take this one because Gaines didn't really watch all of the series, right? Correct me if I'm wrong, of course. But
No, I've only watched the first week. I haven't watched.
So
you haven't been watching.
The best league in Dota Pro Circuit, yeah. But what I feel like Feels Goodman really improved on and really touched upon this series in general is their map movement, right? Like you saw, like this Pango just get completely decimated in the mid lane, right? Was heavily pressured. If you saw weeks past, this Kembo weeks past, if he gets pressured, he just crumbles. Right? We saw his puck. Yeah, okay, arguably he had the 3000 ping, but at the same time, every other series before that, every time he didn't have a good mid, he just crumbles really hard, right? Now, this week, very impressive. He went with his team, which is the thing that you're supposed to do anyway, right? Sure, he lost the tower. Sure, he didn't win the lane, but he stepped up. He focused on the game. He stepped up. He got the DD, went bot. Like he knew what advantage that he had. Pressure the safe lane. Went for the kill. Very impressive. Like that's definitely a major improvement.
He did a few laps of the Ursa, while his teammates killed him, and he was using the DD rune, I think, at the time. So yeah, it was impressive stuff. You're right.
So mechanical demo hero mode practice could certainly be done on this Pango. But I mean, otherwise, the macro movements again this game were very good. I was particularly impressed with how they closed out the map.
Yes.
They're just constantly sweeping through the enemy jungle as like 3 or 4 heroes. It's really, really impressive.
Yeah.
I looked at their ranks, like this is again, I'm like so surprised that a team of this like average MMR is making these kinds of moves. I don't know if it's because they have a good shot caller, if they've scrimmed a lot against higher MMR teams maybe, but it's everything they do regarding macro movements is very, very impressive.
Yes.
Yeah, I noted the time. I think it was 13 minutes. They managed to take all tier 1 towers. And at least from my perspective, it seemed that a lot of that was, as you say, these movements. They grouped up as 5. They knew they were strong together and just moved around the map, taking the objectives.
And one thing that Gaines noticed as well is that these kind of map rotations, map movements, right, didn't really happen until the very last week. Like we saw previous series with Panini, right? Panini just swept one lane, went to the other, and just completely decimated BLnT, especially in game 2. They just didn't give a single moment of rest for BLnT. As soon as that our Mars Arena is up, hit them hard, like really hard, right? Now, in even in higher MMR, that's something that's very rare in pubs, right? And these guys are just executing it to like almost perfectly, and that's very impressive, like really, really impressive.
Could we maybe mention as well, like in terms of like we hear people talking about how Dota is such a mind game as opposed, as well as being like a technical in terms of like your skill, playing your heroes, but it's that mind game. But when you've got those guys pressuring you, that Marzurin every 90 seconds to a minute being thrown down on you, like how does that translate? If you're having to play against that.
Go ahead, please.
I mean, when you're in a position when you're behind and you're under pressure, I mean, it comes down to finding those moments of opportunity, right? And exploiting when the enemy team over pressures or over commits maybe into an area of the map, because when you're pressuring that hard and that aggressively, weirdly enough, there's a lot of free space on the enemy side of the map. So and then it's about kind of, if you can move past that aggressive line, maybe through a smoke, maybe through high mobility heroes moving through trees, and then start maybe cutting waves, farming enemy jungle, maybe forcing a couple of rotations back, then you suddenly you open up the map again and you disrupt that pressure and you buy time, which is the most important thing to do when you're under pressure with a weaker draft.
And another thing I would like to point out is that when you're under pressure, when you're being chased one by one, right? The worst thing you can do is not communicate, right? Like one thing that most people don't realize, especially in higher MMR, right? But it translates, or it applies to any MMR, right? Once communication breaks down under pressure, the game is basically over, right? So like if you stop talking, if you stop saying, guys, let's do this, guys, it's okay, relax, like it's okay, like shit happens, like once you stop talking, once everyone is silent, the game is over, right? There's no point in continuing the game, right? That's why I keep saying that Team Devanch is so impressive. I think even at the heat of battle, even if they're like 30k behind, they don't care, right? Like they're like, it's fine, it's fine. Like let's just go, let's smoke up. Like you saw last week, they were 45k behind, and then in net worth, they still smoke in their base, got a kill, right? Now tell me any other player, right, that does this insane stuff, right? It still tries their best to win, and and doesn't give up, right? Now, in your pubs, most likely the person that you get for your carry is like, oh, I missed one CS. Okay, fuck this game, GG out, or something like that, right? Or
I don't know what you're talking about.
or like that one Ricky player that dived into the enemy ancient, dies there, and then like report support fucking no wards or something like that, right? So the best thing when you're under pressure, keep talking, guys, keep communicating, right? Like correct me if I'm wrong, Gaines, but like in every MMR, you need to keep talking every single time.
Oh, I think that's a long, drawn-out discussion for another time, because I had a big advocate of especially over talking when you're under pressure can result in just games going haywire, especially scrims. Like when people start talking and maybe people's ideas of the game are different when you're under pressure, because it is much harder to play from behind than it is to play from ahead, and then things spiral out of control. I'd say key information being communicated, is very important. Like, this spell's on cooldown, this TP's been used, they've moved here. Those I'd say key information is the stuff that you've got to keep relaying to your team, because that allows you to come back in the game.
So I think we should be able to bring in some of the guys from the teams just now.
Oh, hello.
I'm not sure who we've got. There's a lot of people joining.
Basically, almost everybody from
almost everybody.
Welcome, guys. Welcome.
Hello.
Very full channel. After these games. So yeah, first off, big congratulations to Feels Good Man picking up your solo win of the tournament. So congratulations today, and commiserations to Devanch. It's a hard tournament for you, but we really enjoyed having you here. So maybe if we could start with, let's say, Felicia. How did you find those games today? Talk us through this today's series for you.
Well, actually, I'm actually really proud. We after last week, we sat down, discussed a little bit, and we exactly executed what we wanted to do. we wanted to end the game like under 40 minutes. Well, we did that twice. Like we took the towers quick. We fought in the first game. We fought around exorcism. Went really well. I think the communication was great, and yeah, just that. I'm just really proud of how we performed these two games.
I'm not sure if you were listening to any of the words we had just before we joined, but one of the thing Gaines himself, as someone who hasn't watched the tournament so far and is just coming in seeing you guys play for the first time, is really impressed about how well you guys are playing, particularly your map movements and stuff. Gaines, I don't know if you want to maybe just add a little bit to that, just what really stood
I'd like
out
to
for
ask
you.
a question regarding that. Does the communication look like on Team Feels Good Man? Who's calling these plays?
Well, I think it was a bit of a combination this time. I don't know if either LPM or SRN can fill this in a little bit. I haven't really paid that much attention who made the calls these times.
I did do a couple of calls, like SRN also did, like probably we two did the most, I think.
So the okay, so the
five
five
and the
and
3.
three. Okay, setting the tempo from those positions makes a lot of sense. Okay.
Yeah, it's also the thing we wanted to do. Like SRN for us is the most active and initiating player we have. So that's also the reason. Like at the first start of the tournament, he was playing the 1. Weren't really feeling it, so we put him on a 3, and that's where he really shined for me. Like making the plays, making the calls. So we really want to play around him and his calls because he can, for us, define the tempo that we want to play at.
And I guess maybe if I could pass over to guys at Devanch. As I said, commiserations today. We really wanted to see this to go to a decider, but unfortunately couldn't see that off. But guys, talk us through today, maybe the past couple of weeks, of the tournament, and how you guys have found playing together. If there's anyone from Devanch would like to.
Yeah. So, like we had high hopes today, since we knew that the Feels Good Man team was just above us in the bracket, and they were very nearly ranked, I would say. So we had high hopes coming in, but we had plans. They didn't work out. Uh, Things happen. So.
Yeah, we were very motivated for this game because Feels Good Man is the only team which is actually close to our MMR. But sadly, things didn't go our way.
And you said you had plans for the games today. What were they? Is it something? Did we not able to pick the heroes you wanted, or in the game did it just not come off in the way you envisaged? If you there's no harm telling us your plans now. The tournament's over. Don't worry. There's nobody gonna be picking up any ideas. But yeah, what went wrong there in terms of the plans you had?
Our offlaner's favorite hero got banned every time, so.
Which one was that?
Underlord.
Underlord, okay.
King of the
Yeah.
Pack. Makes sense.
And then my Juggernaut also got banned, so we were a bit sad, but it's okay.
We did research.
We wanted DP to go mid, but Feels Good Man took DP. So we were just sad. Like the first game, we were just sitting all silent.
Yeah, I actually practice DP a lot these days, so I wanted to play DP. But then, you picked it first, there was not anything you could do about it.
And sticking with you guys over at Devanch, how have you found the past 7 weeks? As someone who's been watching your games, everyone here, the coach and the cast, have definitely feel they've seen you improve. But from your perspective, how have you felt you guys have got on? And are you guys going to continue playing together after today?
It's been a great journey for us. We've become better friends, and we've learned a lot about Dota and how to play and how to manage ourselves, communication and everything. Like I would like to continue with playing with everybody else. Like if you all reach a consensus, I would love that.
Yeah, this has been a very educational journey for us.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, personally, I was the lowest ranked player when I started this tournament. I was unranked. I had essentially zero MR. I remember signing up and writing zero in the MMR channel where we had to fill the Google form. And I was thinking, Key is not going to let me in. But thanks to everyone on the team, I actually grew a lot over these past, I don't even remember how many weeks I've played Dota for. It's probably half my journey, and I've grown so much, not only as a player but also as a person. And like, thanks to everyone who's worked so hard to just make all of this happen. Thank you so much.
Also, I'd like to say, like, we have two people in our team who reached the lowest MMR, that is 10 MMR, for experimental purposes. Obviously
Round of
not.
applause, guys. Round of applause.
It was not. It was intentional. It was not like by chance or anything. We are not bad. We just experimented.
Well, that means the only place to go is up, then, boys. Chin up.
Yes, the only way we can know is up.
No, as I said, we've really enjoyed having you from at least the perspective of the embarrassing pictures you've put as your coach you've been sharing with us. I don't know, maybe Reinhard is someone, you've been watching the guys across the past 7 weeks. Is there anything you'd like to pass on to them?
Yeah, like first of all, thank you so much for participating in the league, and thank you for fulfilling my request of getting even progressingly embarrassing picture of Devansh. Very well done. Love you, Devansh. Love you. Just in case you're watching the VOD sometime in the future, love you, man. I played with him a whole bunch of times, and he always plays TA. So I kind of like the fact that you guys paid the tribute in the second game for your coach by playing TA mid and stacking for him as well, because he always complains if no one is stacking for him. So it's very well done. Like I just want to say like a couple of things, and the first one would be, guys, like going from a team that didn't get a single kill, didn't know how to lane, didn't know how to play the game properly, in just 7 weeks, you managed to had really decent team fights. You had several brilliant moments, like even almost like making a comeback against BLnT several times over, fixing up your itemization. You had really good rotations from the mid laner. Like very impressive stuff, guys. Like that's like the main point I want to drive home. Like keep it up. Like you guys are doing insanely well. I would say you guys still need to iron out your laning phase, definitely. But communication, the stacking, everything, the idea, the drafting, the drafting are just by far the most impressive one, or the most impressive aspect. I think even Gains that's like new to the league saw your guys draft, and I don't know, but correct me if I'm wrong, Gains. Like I'm pretty sure like the Team Devansh drafted really solid drafts.
I particularly liked Game One's draft. I think that there was a lot of cool ideas in that draft.
So yeah, like keep it up, guys. Like you guys are definitely on the right track. Your drafting ideas are very creative, very nice, very nicely done. Like for me, I think one point about drafting that I would switch up is like switch up the timing. So like don't reveal all of the supports that you want to play out like right off the bat in the first 2 picks. Maybe put like one support in the first phase and like the other support in the second pick phase or something like that. But overall, guys, very impressive.
Thank you.
Thank you for your words of encouragement, man.
Anytime.
Oh, yeah, Reinhard, you've been a constant support. Like you said more good things about us than Devansh has. So this is.
Yeah, that's true.
Again, yeah, we love you, Devansh.
I mean, you kind of did post like 7 embarrassing pictures of him online. So
if I could pass maybe then over back to Feels Good Man, guys. Eventually managed to pick up the win today. maybe it wasn't what you were expecting when you came into the tournament, only getting the sort of one series win. But how have you felt things over the past 7 weeks playing together? Do you feel personally you guys have improved? Like in a team, do you think you've improved together a bit more? And what are your plans going forward? Are you going to be playing together still, or what are your thoughts?
I mean, at least for me, I think that we would all love to play together. And for me, the experience in the league has been pretty good, I'd say. I think we've been very unlucky with stand-ins. We basically played like one game without a stand-in, so that's unfortunate, but that can happen. I mean, for me, like the losing games, can happen too. For me, it's been very good to play with these guys, and hopefully when season 2 will arrive, if it arrives, we will be stronger.
Well,
You need
I heard
need to
season
ask
2 is
Reinhar
coming.
about that one.
Yeah, like this league has been amazing. I got to play with some awesome people, got to make new friends, and yeah, definitely we're gonna continue this way in the future as well. See you in the second season, boys.
I guess, is there anything in particular that in terms of your solo play, is there anything you've learnt about how you play the game or playing together as a team? Is there anything in particular you could comment on regarding that?
Well, I think that switching SRN to position 3 is the best fucking thing we could ever do. Even though he's playing as smart as Pepega, but like.
I mean, yeah, like the reasoning behind it was that really that Viking was really not had a playstyle for a +3, so he was more about hitting the creep, like. So we said that like I like to be very aggressive, so we thought that it would be the right thing to do to put me on the offlane, and it worked out so far, I think.
Just is that a position you've played a lot of before, or was that a new experience for you?
I mean, I've played a little bit in my pops, but nothing else than pops really, so it's been kind of new for me. And I find the position very fun, so.
So yeah, it's kind of something new that you got to try it a little bit.
Yeah, it really was, yeah.
I guess we'll probably start to wrap things up there, unless there's anyone else wants to add anything or ask any questions, either from the teams or anyone on the coaching panel.
Like maybe like a closing word for me then, if nobody's taking the stage. Just want to say like thank you for everyone, for Team Devansh and Team Feels Goodman for participating and playing in the league. Hope you guys had fun, and hope you guys improve and add some enjoyment at the league, add something to you guys, improve your overall enjoyment of Dota. Thank you for Gainsworth, even though it's your first time doing the coaching panel. You did a great job. Thank you very much. And thank you for everyone in the recording team. I know we still have 2 more series, but thank you to everyone for participating. Thank you, Ipsy, as well, for doing the hosting. And I don't know if you're gonna host tomorrow, but in case you don't, then
don't worry. You've got me. Don't worry. I'll be there.
Okay. Cool. Okay, then I'll see you tomorrow. But for everybody else, thank you so much. And again, I apologize if I made some mistakes or I did something wrong or something didn't sit right. As we mentioned previously many times, the league is still new. We're trying to improve and we're trying to accommodate everyone as best possible. And yeah, that's it from me. And have a nice evening.
Just before we go, just because I see that we're about to raid someone else in the stream. Tomorrow is 4 o'clock. That is the 9-inch meals against Team 4. So it'll be live then. But yeah, thank you, Reinhard, for closing it out there. Just wanted to add that one little thing. But have a lovely evening.
Yeah, see you tomorrow.